Well, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Data Sim live stream. Today is the 13th of April 2022 at 3 minutes past 6 in the evening in the United Kingdom. Back in X-Plane 11, and we are in the Rotate MD11. Now, this aircraft was released under controversial circumstances. It seemed to be very broken. In fact, I bought it a couple of days after release and tried to complete the tutorial flight. It was all over the place, up, down, left, right. Couldn't fly a solid magenta line. Issues with automation, issues with flight directors. Now, the devs have been very busy bringing out a number of patches. I think they had version 1.01, which I tried, didn't have much luck. But this version, 1.02, seems to have addressed a lot of the issues to do with LNAV. So I've completed this test flight a couple of times, had no issues laterally. The automation seems a bit wayward for me now, but in time I have no doubt it'll be a much better aircraft than it was on release. Certainly, from what I understand, they rotate MD80 when that was released had problems, and upon some updates later on, the MD80 became much better. No doubt it'll be the same with the MD11 as well. We are anyway in America. We're in Louisville, I think it's pronounced, which is in the state of Kentucky. This is, I think, UPS's main headquarters. We'll be flying to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Flight time around 1 hour 25 minutes. Live weather, live time, and on VATSIM as well. And hopefully we won't run into any major issues. Anyway, let's zoom on in towards the aircraft. This is the excellent $0 freeware scenery. Their sceneries are payware quality, but they're completely free to download. Really pleased with this one. Later on in Philadelphia, we have the ex-Captain scenery, which is freeware as well. Excellent. Right, anyway, let's see who we've got in chat today. Hello, Microfish. He says, hi, Captain. Here again. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Yaroslav, good evening, Captain. Rene, I love the MD11. It's a fantastic-looking aircraft as well. I actually saw one last week, quite close up, which was pretty cool. Taxiing behind one, but unfortunately, I couldn't take a picture of it because I was taxiing. And I was thinking about the live stream. Mr. Resort, I hope you're doing well. This is America. Anon, Rotor Fibs here as well. Pedro Alves, Rundums Flicken. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Matthias Mafia Keith even. Blade929 says evening all. Hello, 2 tons. Nice to see you here as well. Here is the Rotate MD11 UPS colours as well. Will Henwood, one of the members, has made an alpaca version which will fly again next time, but we are going UPS today, so it's quite cool to shake it up occasionally, go with a different real-world operator. Paul Emerson, I hope you're doing well, buddy. Hello, Captain. Nice to see you in here. Rundums Flicken, I think I've said hello to you already. Edo, nice to see you here. Littoral Games, John Padfield, Greg Scott, Joe Drage, Hamza Shaffadine, nice to see you here as well. Tim Waters, Ollie Blockskaven, probably repeating myself several times there. Scott Morgan, hello everyone, joining the Flight Data Sim stream today from work. Living a little on the wild side, I guess. Thank you very much. Don't get yourself in trouble now. 6 months as a member, Elliot Smith, thank you very much for your continued support. He says, good evening, gents. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Thank you very much for popping in there. HD Simulations is here as well. He says, hello, Flight Data Sim. Philippe Cadero says, hey, hit. Thank you very much for popping in. You've been 2 years as a member. That's amazing. Moosey, I live right next to the airport. Definitely pronounced it right. Yeah, so actually, if you type in how to pronounce Louisville in Google, there's actually a whole YouTube video on this, and I wasn't sure if it was Louisville, and then I think it was called Louisville, and even people from the city weren't calling it correctly, but no doubt I'll mispronounce several other states and US names on our way to Philadelphia today. Anyway, let's now zoom on in towards the aircraft. Well, this is our first time here looking at the MD11. The exterior model on the aircraft, absolutely stunning, really high quality, looks absolutely beautiful, and I love the wear and tear looks of all the chipped paint on the fuselage. Looks really, really cool. SimPilot29, 12 months as a member. Thanks, buddy. As always, a pleasure to watch your streams. Thank you very much for your membership as well, for popping in too. But yeah, look at this. 3 huge, gigantic engines, and we are November 255 Uniform Papa. I mean, it looks like it's been around the block, this aircraft. The exterior model is absolutely beautiful. And once they get the innards of it sorted, all the logic and all the aircraft behaving as it should, this will be a super aircraft. But yeah, certainly the exterior model is a win for me. Where's all our main gear? We've got a center gear as well located there. Yeah, very nice. Now, the sounds, though, bit of a disappointment if I'm honest.
Minimums, approaching
very
minimums.
Default X-Plane 11-y. There is a sound pack available which you have to pay by I can't remember what it's called, the X Plus FT Sim Simulations, I think it was FT Sim Plus or something, which I haven't actually got round to getting, but I'll look into perhaps getting that for the next stream. But the default sounds, yeah, okay, but they're just lacking slightly. John Padfield, 15 months as a membership, 15 months as a member. The reason the Alpaca cargo flight is delayed until next stream is because Alpaca logistics truck got stuck on a helicopter. Ridiculous, John. Thank you very much for your 15 months membership. It's been a while since we've done a Eurotruck stream on the other channel. We'll have to look into doing that at some point there. MGS1, hello, flight sim. Great to see MD11. Hope you come day one back to the MD80. It's been a very long time since we've flown the MD80. No doubt we'll have a look at that at some point. There's so many amazing aircraft available now. Alex Vanderpass, hello all. FT Sim Plus, thanks Stefan. I'll try to remember that as well. Excellent. Right. So before we do anything, let's get the aircraft loaded up. So if I show you our flight plan, this is the default MD11 sim brief profile. It's okay. It's very conservative on fuel, so we are going to just load 18.8 tons. The actual aircraft, the Rotate MD11, burns a lot less. I don't know what a useful fuel bias is at the moment to put in. I couldn't even find one online, but it is reasonably accurate. Times and speeds for the cost index are quite good, but this is we'll be burning less fuel than this, but we'll go off that. Routing from
minimums, approaching minimums.
Louisville to Philadelphia, so flight time 1 hour 25. The alternate is John F. Kennedy, New York, which is about, how long is it going to take us to get there if we have to divert? 37 minutes long, that routing. Hopefully we'll have to go there. Hawaii 345, 25 months as a member. Thanks, buddy. Don't mind me just flexing my shiny new alpaca icon. Love it. Hawaii 345. Thank you very much. Over 2 years as a member. Welcome to the exclusive 2-year alpaca badge club. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much. Oh, Petrich, minus 20 for fuel buy should work quite well. Well, for the next time, I'll use minus 20. Excellent. So, based on the sim brief operational flight plan, let's have a look at the Rotate MD11 aircraft menu. So I've selected all this. Most of these boxes are ticked for sort of operating in kilos and Celsius. Let's untick that for 30 seconds. I've tried to do full alignments, it never seems to work, so I've been using the manual align now option to see if that works there. Now payload, we're going to take 70 tons of cargo today, which is represented by a zero fuel weight of 185 tons, so 70 tons. CG, we're going to put that 0% mean aerodynamic chord. It just puts the CG right in the middle of the limits. Block fuel. Now, interestingly, what block fuel should include taxi fuel, but they have taxi fuel as a separate tab here. But we're going to put 18,800 kilos of fuel on board, and then the taxi fuel, which should be included in block, will just add 680. So 680, even though it should be part of this amount. Ballast fuel we're not going to use. Trip fuel, so this is to calculate our landing weight. We'll use just trip, not trip and taxi. So we're going to burn 10,192 kilos. So let's put 10,192. And apply load, and you'll notice as soon as I push this, if you look in the background, the aircraft should hunker down on its gear. Oof, there you are. So that we have the 70 tons on board and all the fuel we need as well. Ground ops, let's get the ground power connected. Cockpit stairs so we can get the dispatcher on board. Fuel service and load aircraft. We get the default X-plane voice come up, I think, or not.
Sending service now.
There we are, sending service now. We'll open up the cockpit door and the open all the doors and all the cargo doors as well. And if we look outside, you should see it does start boarding or loading up some cargo crates and containers. Now, it's very quick. It would be much cooler if it was actually a little bit slower. The door opens much quicker, and then once they're inside, you get these 4 crates. They just disappear, and then the animation disappears. It's a shame. It would be quite cool to have them so it stays inside for the realism.
Minimums, approaching
whilst that's going on, let's just catch up here with everything that's going on in chat. Kat, thanks for the 24 members membership. Nice chatting to you earlier. How do you get down off an elephant? You don't. You get down off a duck. Hint, you could also get down off a goose. That's Cat. Usually jokes like this go straight over my head. When I'm streaming, they go way over my head even more. How do you get down off an elephant? You don't. You get down off a duck. No, literally Cat right over me. Unbelievable. Who else have we got here there? I'm going to send you the right SimBrave profile in Discord for the MD11. Okay, HG Simulation. I might not be able to because I only have a members-only Discord, but I've used the SimBrave profile that was shared to me, or if you type in on Google MD11 SimBrave profile, but it's the same fuel burn as the default one I found. Over the 3 years I've been watching you, I now know your name and what airline you work for. Well done, the best one now. Sherlock Holmes has entered chat. It's basically quite well known who I work for. I could even say who it is. My operator gives me full permission. I just wish to maintain my anonymous. If you could respect that, that would be appreciated. Down as in feathers. Very cryptical. Yeah, I know. I can't work that stuff out while streaming. Unbelievable. Right, let's now jump back in here. You can see that the cargo load is gone. Let's have the crates back into the cockpit. Yes, John. Liam, don't say that. Thanks for now. Great. I appreciate it. Right, let's now just turn the music down here and actually get the show on the road. So, I am actually following the Rotate MD11 tutorial. It is pretty good. It sort of gets you up and running from the absolute basic setup. There's some quite good documentation that comes with it. They've sort of got a whole FCON with all the chapters for the MD11. The great thing is aircraft seems to be a bit of Airbus, a bit of Boeing, and a bit of the quirkiness you get from McDonnell Douglas. I love it. But the thing is, the LNAV seems to be working out, but VNAV, especially in descent, is completely balked at the moment. It's all over the place. There might be some differences that I don't know about with the MD11, but I just cannot get VNAV to follow the profile at all. But at least I know how to use level change in it and vertical speed, so we can sort of use some conventional basic modes if we can't get VNAV to go properly. Right, let's now get some power on the aircraft. First of all, we have to connect the battery bus, so open the battery switch cover and push on the battery. There we are. Let's turn up the audio. You can hear it all whirring away. I might have to turn this down in a second because as soon as I get the GPU connected, you get all these fans going off. So battery's on.
Minimums. Approaching.
Craig
minimums.
Stevens, 14 months member, just says Listerman. Okay, fair enough. Is Listerman here? Have I missed a comment from him or something? I don't know. Thanks for the 14 months anyway. Is Jim back in the air today? Yep, we're with Jim today. Unbelievable. Flight Sim is really an Airbus pilot and plays it down as a newbie. Absolutely. Jackim, Cat, this might or might not affect VNAV, but I heard that the CG should be set between 30 and 31%, so you have to set the CG within a specific limit. You shouldn't need to, but I'm just doing it as I did on my test sectors, and it shouldn't have any problems. Right, before we get the APU up and running, we'll do an engine and APU fire test. So we have the 3 lights and the APU fire lights illuminated, and we'll now get the external power connected, so it should whir to life when I do this. Many noises, many screens coming on here. Don't forget, I'm not type rated on this aircraft. It's completely new to me, so we might not be able to get everything done exactly as it has to be done correctly. It's quite a fun overhead panel. Yeah, it's actually a lot simpler than I thought. It's very Airbus-y. It's more Airbus than Boeing. A lot of automation, which I like, but you just got to remember the quirks there. Listen, I unfortunately don't have a channel on Instagram handle to shout out, but still thanks. Any idea what's going on there? Microfish, any fires today, Captain? No planned fires, but you never know what could happen. Right, we have some electrical power and AC power on the aircraft now. It does talk about then in the tutorial about starting the APU, which I am going to do. You wouldn't probably do it quite at this stage unless you need it for environmental reasons, but to start the APU, just simply push the stop button. You get the on flashing light and the APU starts, and you can get all the information from the APU here, so you can see the M1 increasing, as is the EGT and N2. What are you guys up to? Finn, 34 months, member, one of my oldest members. He just says Joe. Unbelievable. Wheels or Doors says Joe. I was going to pot and chat this evening. Thank you very much for continued support. Really appreciate it. Why is everyone calling out each other with their membership comments? No words there. Jessica, are we landing with mouse yoke barrel rolls? Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? Oh, guys, stop it, please. Come on, it's really distracting. Kieran says Kieran, his own name. 27 months, thanks, buddy. Unbelievable. God, no words is going to bot. I'm gonna have to mute you lot soon. Right, APU started, and not quite available to put the APU on the bus just yet. Still says on. I think when they get a solid flushing on, you can then put the APU on the bus. But does it usually say APU available? There we are, APU power available. So I'll put that on now. And then we might as well just disconnect the ground power. I'll just leave it running for now. So APU power's on, and then if I push this button...
Minimums.
Marie145, thank you very much for the membership. Glad you enjoyed the content. You get invited to our members-only Discord. Hope you enjoy using the custom emojis in chat. Thank you very much for the support. Excellent. So APU's on. You get flow for pack 2, then you get flow for pack 1 and 3. And then you start getting lovely conditioned air. You can hear the airflow increasing. The systems on this all seem to be really well modelled and everything working in the background, which is really, really nice. So APU started, we now have the APU power on. Annunciator light test. Let's test.
Overspeed.
All the lights on.
Overspeed.
Several master cautions. And there's Betty. What do they call it? Betty on the aircraft there? Not so sure, but she's shouting away. That's all tested and working. Air conditioning is on. We have the pack switches observing with the flow lights. They are all on. We now have to turn on the IRS. So quirk number 1 of the MD11. As soon as you put the nav IRS to nav, or number 1 to IRS, it does a cargo fire test. Why? I don't understand. Someone at McDonnell Douglas said, right, when we put the IRS to 1 to nav, let's do a cargo fire test. So that's been completed. We'll put the auxiliary IRS and number 2 IRS to nav. You could also do a individual cargo and engine fire test by holding, I think it is, where is it? Oh yeah, now we have AC power. You can do all the tests again if you wish, with all the audio. Love it. Carrying on then, we've done the fire test, we've got the IRS to nav. It then wants you to load up the FMC. It's a bit all over the place, the tutorial, but we just want to make sure we've got the nav lights on, which is good. Logo, we might as well turn on. Fuel pumps, we'll just leave everything as it is all here, so I'm pretty happy with how the overhead panel is. I just need to arm that, put the no smoking and fasten seatbelt signs on, and then we'll load up the FMS. So it says Align IRS already. Goes to the aircraft status page by pushing reference. We have then, we need it to go to 5 left aircraft status. Verify we've got that database installed. So we've got latest AirAC. You have to use the old Rotate MD11 AirAC file and just drag it across. It's not too difficult to do. So that's all installed there. Aaron, just automation, I guess. You need to do a fire test anyway. Why not just automate it? I guess. I mean, it's the only aircraft I've seen where you have to put the IRS to nav and it does its test, but every other aircraft I don't have an individual separate fire test for the cargo and engines. There we go. Right, that's installed. Let's go to our flight plan. Now, you can generate your flight plan in SimBrief, and you can download it as a text file, and you can add it to the MD11 user data folder. And if I type in just the 4-letter ICAO code, so Kilo Sierra Delta Foxtrot, and then Philadelphia, which is Kilo Papa Hotel Lima, it'll load your routing in. You just have to put the SID and star and runways in, so it's similar to the INI builds aircraft, which is pretty cool. Alternate's going to be John F. Kennedy, KGFK. Flight number, we are UPS 218. Cruising at 35,000 feet. We're not going to be doing any step climbs on this sector. Cost index, cost index at 30 is installed. Initialize IRS. So I think once the alignment's completed, it'll automatically update your position, which is pretty cool. Micropish, when you switch on the taxi light, it probably probably flushes the toilet. Should we try that? See what happens. Flush the taxi. There we go. Yeah, it does. Who would have thought? Unbelievable. Damn McDonnell Douglas. Carrying the rest of the checklist there, we've got the flight plan init page installed or updated. Company route is in. Initialise the IRS. I hydraulic test. Now, it does say that in the tutorial to do a hydraulic test, but every time I do this I can't seem to get it to stop its test, and then I have all these warning lights about the hydraulic test. So to do that, it's up here, a hydraulic test. You open that guard and then you just basically push the button in, but every time I've done it, it just seems to get stuck there. So now it says before you put in the rest of the routing, confirm you have the weather. So we have no ATC here at the moment, so we'll just use the METAR. And right now in Louisville, Muhammad Ali International, light rain, overcast at 3,700 feet, temperature's 21 degrees, inches of mercury is 2978. So let's set 2978. We need to select inches, there we are, so 2978. Now, one of the things I really need to sort out is the mouse wheel. It's so sensitive that I can't actually, to fine tune it, it's very difficult. You have to do little individual ones, or if you move it two at once, it just jumps about loads. It's really, really annoying. We can click it. So 2997. It's only just taken 30 seconds to set, but there we are, 2978. Barrow, it says leave the RA to 200 feet. We're taking off from runway 17 right with that wind from the south. So, just check the runway QDM. It's 170 degrees, so we can set that now. 170. Stop altitude for departure is 5,000 feet. We'll brief all this later, and we do leave the target speed at 250 knots. Hold the click and drag. Ah. Oh. Doesn't seem to do anything, Will. 9,300. What do you? Is it only click and drag on this one? Oh yeah, that does work actually. No, it doesn't work, Will. Hold and drag on mine, and now it's going to take another 30 seconds. So if I hold it, it just spins. Hold and drag. Oh, there you go, 2978. Perfect. Let's carry on with the rest of the checks. My chat is completely... I've been having issues with YouTube at the moment, and during streams, chat just not updating. It just seems really slow. So it keeps saying for me, chat disconnected, and chat's reconnected. It's really annoying. There we are. I can see some toilet emojis coming in there. He's never prepared. Listen, no, I'm always ready for a bit of banter. Right. Let's now... we've done that, bank angle selectors to auto. That's an auto. And we're now ready to load up our FMS. So it says, go to flight plan. We have Louisville. I'm going to select that, SID. In real life right now, according to the digital ATIS, they're using 17 left and 17 right. So we'll go for 17 right for us. SID's going to be a Fedra 5 via shipper. So we can insert that, and if we go here, you can see it's already inserted it, and first waypoint after shipper is Bravo Kilo Whiskey, all the way to our arrival, which is into Philadelphia. We are flying the PAX 3 arrival via Golf Victor Echo, and where UPS, we'll look at the charts later, UPS stationed at the south of the airfield, so we're going to ideally land on 27 left today, and they are using that runway, so 27 left. Insert, just check for any discontinuities. So I'm going to delete the manual vector and the flight plan discontinuity. So it just goes from peace out to Festi. We'll look at that in detail later. So that's all in. Oh, ground controller's online. Let's have a look. Oh yes, we do have some 80s. Pretty cool. So flight plan's in. We've got the routing in. Cost index has been selected as well. And we just now need to go to init page 2. Now, because I have used the loader and copied all the information, it's copied all the information regarding loading into the FMS for me. So block fuel 18.8, zero fuel weight is 184.9 tons. It's saying I've got an hour and 30 minutes extra fuel, so you can see how the sim brief profile, they need to get it to match this somehow. Well, I think it was at minus 20 fuel bias, so we'll take the extra fuel, I don't mind at all. So the fueling is all done, and performance, what's on page 3? No, that's fine, dump fuel, refuel quantity, don't need to worry about that. We need to look at performance, so we're going to go to the takeoff page here. Have a look here, the tutorial. So flap 15, we're going to use a dialer flap setting. This is the same as tutorial, so flap 15. The The flap settings, you have slat selection, and then flaps to dial a flap. You can dial whatever flap setting you want. It's very much a McDonnell Douglas thing, so we are going to use flap 15 for departure, so we can dial that in. We can select dial flap to 15 after engine start. We don't have 28, 35, and 50. I think 28 is also another flap takeoff setting. So that's all set. Slope 0/0, because I think it is here. That's the only way I can get that to enter any information. That was off a video I watched of an MD11 FMS setup. And the outside air temperature in Celsius is 21 degrees. So it should now check confirm speeds. We'll select V1, 136, 152, 160. Verify that's all set on the PFD. V1, VR, V2. Perfect. So the V speeds are all set. Right, we're pretty much ready to go. We just need to brief the taxi and Sid. Now, the IRS is still on nav. I just cannot... I've waited for 20-30 minutes. Oh yeah, flex temperature I need as well, 50. That worked earlier. I just can't get it to finish its initialization. I can guarantee you it's something that I just don't know about this aircraft, but I selected initialize at 1-800 flap. Unbelievable. Wish I kept my VATSIM controller rating current. I'd sign on and give you some ATC. Oh, thank you for the offer, Ivan Music, appreciated. Oh, so for example, 0/headwind 15. Okay, let's try that. Well, the headwind here is 5 knots, so I'll leave it for now. Yeah, so I just can't seem to complete the IRS alignment at all. So all I've been doing is going here, aircraft menu, and then pressing align now, which completes the alignment. So I don't know if it's something I'm missing. Right, so did I put the APU on the bus? I think I did. Yes. Let's disconnect the GPU, move the chocks and stairs. We'll close all the doors now. So if I pop out my head outside, you can see all the doors are closing. Love how the doors open and close on an MD11. This can carry a serious amount of cargo. You've got 2 decks here. It's crazy. What's this as well? Is this an outflow valve? It's absolutely a huge hole in the side of the plane. It's crazy. Taylor, I'll keep an eye out overhead as you pass. Spy on the approach. Very cool. I didn't realise you're from Philly. That's awesome. You seem to have surprised the ground controller at Louisville, according to chats with Zid. I would have been surprised too. Oh, was he just enjoying a quiet afternoon? Was it 1 o'clock here in the afternoon on VATSIM? We've probably got quite a lot of traffic here. What's the situation here? Ah, yes, so quite a few of you have decided to join me to Philadelphia. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, we need to get the clearance, of course. Yeah, that is the outflow valve, sus. That's crazy. It's huge. Absolutely huge. Right, what else do I need to do up here? Engine ignition's off for now. Defog on. I think we're all good up here. What else is it moaning me about here? Flight recorder, emergency power switch off. Oh yeah, let's put that to on. There we are. I think it's all happy now. Right, briefing then. We're on stand Charlie 4 here at the UPS cargo stand. Pushback to face northwest. We're going to taxi out via Charlie Bravo, depart off runway 17 right. So quite a shortish taxi for us. And the SID we're flying is the Fedra 5 RNAV departure, which we selected in the FMC. We can go here to plan. Then we can step through the flight plan. I'll go all the way to the start again. So it is for us 17 right, climb on heading 170 to intercept the 185 to lean. We've got intercept and then I can see lean, but there's no tracks there. From there it's going to be a left turn to freight, and then to Fedra. So I can see it's in the FMS. It's all looking like it's coded correctly, and there's no stop altitude. Well, sorry, there is a stop altitude. Top altitude of 5,000 feet, so that is set on the MCP. I will set that to 5,100 because we don't have our clearance yet. We do now have ATC. So that's it. Our nav SID. We're going to use the nav function. The takeoff in this is still learning about this aircraft. Sort of have a rough idea of what it's doing. The flight directors are very sensitive, but we'll see how we get on. Right, let's tune up Louisville ground. Grab our clearance. Oh, I need to turn the radio on. How do I do that on here, actually? So I think I'm going to push this up.
Roger.
Ah, there we go. Oh, fantastic. Rotate. I like it when developers actually model the volume controls on the pedestals. So it actually controls the volume just like it would in the real aircraft. It's super cool. Love it. Guys, I've got a mugger soup on at the moment.
Ground hello, UPS 295, requesting aircraft to flood up in UPS 295, Louisville ground, good evening. Standby clearance, so request number 4.
Number 4 for clearance. Let's just get in the queue.
American 49,
Are your
cleared to
V-speeds
Philadelphia
good?
International, the Federal flight departure, then as filed, climb and maintain 5,000. Initially expect flight level 350, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is going to be on Unicom and
so.
clock 1404.
We're not that heavy. We've got,
49, 34,
you know, what even, an eighth of our fuel capacity and 70 tons. Seems about right for this way. The beast, the volume knob rotation is so rare to see modeled in any plane. Well, quite a few developers, certainly in X-Plane, have that model. Zevo mod, this, Indy builds, I believe, Felis, I think 74 does that.
2456, you can switch to Unicom frequency change to prove have a safe flight.
Oh, Pancake King, yeah. So I've not been following the flight directors. The flight directors want you to pitch up to 35, 40 degrees. I can understand if you're very light, it might do that, but at my operator, when we're very light, we have to limit the maximum altitude to 20 degrees. Check your PFD. What have I missed on the PFD, guys? Oh, they're meant to be magenta for those V-speeds.
UPS 456, can you repeat that departure?
What have I missed there, Mick Holmberg?
Departure, then as filed. Climb and maintain 5,000 initially. Expect 350, 10 minutes after departure.
Really don't know. What absolute wagon. Love it, Mark.
Cleared to Philadelphia by the Purdue 5 departure. Floating plan route. 5,000, expect 350.
No, Jude, evening, just tuning in now. Thanks a lot for popping in. You've just tuned in, we're just waiting for our clearance, and then we'll request push to start straight away. He does talk very fast there, Edo. It's a bad habit to fall into.
17 right and India, UPS 456.
Better push back this one. There's one I made earlier.
Last aircraft transmitting,
Now the cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call us through the menu when you're ready to go.
I'm ready.
Now the cockpit, the tow's driving up now.
I think that's what it was. I think the FMA should enunciate takeoff. Yeah, but that's after I pushed autoflight, isn't it? Or one of these buttons. Pretty sure that's exactly how I have it. I'll do all that on the lineup on the taxi out. You push the autoflight button, don't you? And that automates. Or the auto throttle you add advanced thrust levers and automatically engages it. When the V speeds turn white, the FMC wants you to clear them and reconfirm them. Okay. Let's do that. Oh yes, look, they're lower. Interesting. Great, yeah, back in magenta now. Thanks, guys. Thank you. I wonder why they changed.
All doors and hatches are closed. We're connecting now.
Ground UPS 5395.
They're going to get away here, guys.
India, please.
Hey Fred, I don't recognise the better pushback sounds. Anyone know where I can get that? Yeah, type in Google better pushback sound pack, free to download. It includes me, which I've disabled from my streams.
Info for today, UPS 64 with India, request clearance to Philly. UPS 64, Louisville ground, good evening.
Tows connected and bypass pins inserted. Release the brakes.
Many UPSs here.
The Bravo, cross runway 11.
That's out the whole point.
17 right, Bravo, cross runway 11, UPS 4395.
Ground, hello, UPS 218, stand C4, departure clearance to Philadelphia, please.
UPS 218, Louisville ground, good evening. Clearance is on request, standby number 3. UPS 295, I've got here.
218, sorry, I'm in America. So we need to just listen out now for our clearance.
UPS UPS 295, I've got your clearance ready. Advisor, do you copy? UPS 295, ready to check.
Andrew, PMDG73 very soon, can't wait much longer.
UPS
Suspense is painful, very good.
cleared to Philadelphia via the
I believe,
Federal
if you want to see, I believe Chewy94 is quite close to the dev team in dev, so I think he might get early access. I have no affiliation with PMDG, so if you want to see content, I'd probably recommend seeing him first, but as soon as I get a copy or it's available for release, I'll purchase it. We'll be doing a dedicated stream looking at that, and maybe some tutorials as well.
UPS 295, readback is correct. Push and start at your discretion. Expect 17 left for departure. And advise when ready for taxi. Ultimate or ATIS information, India is correct. Airport will report ready for taxi. 17 left. UPS 295.
Ground, UPS 292.
I hope I'm hyping the PMDG 737. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they've achieved. That's for sure. Will it have the in-depth modelling of the Zibo and with regards to flying non-precision approaches? How that be now?
Was that UPS 292, I believe?
Confirm UPS 292.
Roger. UPS 292 clearances on request. Standby number.
But guys, please, anything you've noticed I've grossly omitted from this aircraft, please let me know. This aircraft is completely new to me. I only done about 2 or 3 flights in it.
UPS 64 cleared to Philadelphia International via the Federal 5 departure.
Todd,
maintain 5,000.
is that a Will Smith reference there? Best not mention his name.
After departure frequency Unicom 122.8 squawk
14110.
Search for the Federal 5 departure.
Sims looking mint, should we say? Simone, been some time since Zibo last updated 73. Do you have any news yet? Zibo very busy. I actually just checked up on him because Sim was so used to frequent updates. But no, he's just very busy with his main work, his job. But the latest version that's available is very stable. Very, very good.
UPS 4395 heavy, you can change the Unicom frequency change approved. Have a safe flight.
Unicom, Fox Point on, UPS flight 395.
UPS 218, I've got your clearance ready. Advisor, ready to copy.
Ready to copy.
Alright, UPS 218 cleared to Philadelphia International via the Federal 5 departure. Then as filed, climb and maintain 5,000. Initially expect flight level 35010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency Unicom 122.8 squawk 1411.
Cleared to Philadelphia on the Fedra 5 departure, then as filed, climb 5,000 feet to departure. Flight level 350, 10 minutes after departure. After departure, 122.8, squawk 1411, UPS 218.
UPS 218, readback correct, push and start to your description. Expect 17 right for departure. ATIS information, India is correct.
Let's copy information, India, UPS 218. 218, 218, I don't know. Right, we've got our clearance, push and start own discretion, so I guess we'd contact apron control in some way. Let's put the squawk in. 1411, we'll put that to transponder, 5,000 feet, and we've already briefed the Fedra 5. Right, so, just see what's going on here. I don't really fancy blocking everyone. Oh, no, looks like cheeky. Let's go. How do I start pushback if I just got to release parking brake? Right, quickly, beacon.
Okay, push is commencing. Go ahead and start the engines.
We'll do beacon on, transponder out off, that's all I'm going to do. Right, ignition to A. That turns all the packs off for you automatically. Oh, is it out reporting off? I'm not sure. Transponder puts mode C on for Phantom. So, starting engines here, it's pretty simple. You select ignition, so we use ignition system A, and you simply pull out this little button. You get a nice bright light, and a 15% N2, we add fuel. Select traffic and data, thank you. N2, a little bit of N1. Oil pressure. There's 15%. Insert the fuel. The sounds are just a bit. They're okay. It's just very, very quiet. You can't even hear them externally. You can see it starting though. Steering wheel on maximum. Excellent. Starting engine number 2.
Last aircraft transmitting, what was your call sign again, sorry? Lama 875, Lima India Alpha. Lama 875.
Llama?
Runway 17 right.
Outrageous.
Taxi via
Head 2.
Lima Golf Bravo.
Operations complete. Set the brakes.
Love the whole parking brake here. Very mechanical.
Stand by. We're disconnecting the tow now.
All pressure N1, 15%. What point can you then start the next engine? Is it when the light's extinguished? EGT accelerates very quickly. You wouldn't go from 0 to 700 that fast. It's very hot as well. It'd be much slower in reality, especially on an engine this size. Slave that.
Ground UPS 456, request taxi.
Starting engine number 1.
UPS 456, runway 17 right, taxi via Charlie Golf
There's it.
Bravo, cross runway 11.
Very thirsty as well. Look at this, Bernie.
Charlie
Where's the
Golf
fuel
Bravo,
flow?
cross 17 right, UPS 456.
Just disconnected and bypass pins removed. Signals on the left. Have a good one.
500 kilos an hour per engine. So 1500 kilos just sat here. Oh yeah, 15%. Fuel in.
Lama 875, contact Louisville, departure
Oh, got Louisville
132.225.
departure on
Have a good flight. Departure on 32, no, Lama 875, we'll see you.
Outrageous call sign. Rip fuel economy, unbelievable. Right, 3 good starts. Looking good here. We now need to do the after start checklist. Firstly, turn off the APU air, which is here. Then turn off the APU, which is here. Verify gen switch is off, so we have no warning lights up here. The fuel pump will eventually, that light will extinguish, I think, once the engine's finally started, which we'll check shortly. And now we'll just complete the after start checklist. So anti-ice is off, APU is off, flaps to 15. So there's the dialer flap selected, flap 15. Arm the spoilers, there's the Airbus reference flight controls.
17 left, taxi via Delta, well,
So
yeah,
we're going
via
to select
Delta,
configuration.
17 left, taxi via Delta, cross runway
Set the stand trim as well, so full nose
Ground
up,
UPS
down,
456, we'll just need to hold here for a
left,
second. We got no brakes.
and rudders, left, right. Stand trim for departure was 6.7 units. Going to get the stabilizer motion, I think, in a second.
Stabilizer motion.
Love it. There we are, 6-7 set. Briefing complete, we're ready for taxi. And I believe I can taxi forward and then request clearance just to get out of here. So taxi selected, clear left, and clear right. And we're on our way. Well, oh yeah, I've got to actually physically do it on this aircraft. Clunk. There we go.
UPS 64, behind company MD11, you can taxi 17 left via Charlie Golf Bravo, cross runway 11. Charlie Golf Delta.
It's a Virgin America there.
17 left, UPS 64.
And UPS 218 request taxi.
UPS 218, 17 right, taxi via Charlie Golf Bravo, cross runway 11.
Charlie Golf Bravo, cross runway 11, UPS 218. So we're going to go Charlie.
My apologies, I didn't realize that I gave you 17 left.
So it's going to be first right, and then Golf, then Bravo, basically, cross runway.
Lima, November, Delta.
MD11 looks like the modernised version of DC-10. Yeah, the DC-10 was all steam gauge, wasn't it? Now it says if you've got a green box here, that's good. You should not have forgotten anything.
Right via Charlie Golf Bravo, cross runway 11.
Charlie Golf Bravo to runway 17 right behind the company UPS 64. Thank you.
UPS 456, we're good to go now. We'll make the next raid on Bravo 4 and then continue.
Great scenery, really nice.
UPS 456, roger. American 4934 is ready to taxi. American 4934, runway 17
It must be wet,
right,
though.
taxi via Mike,
Yeah,
Golf,
the sounds
Bravo.
could be... They're okay. They're okay. But it'd be better if they had some custom sounds available.
Ground UPS 292, custom pictures. UPS 292, runway
50,
17,
40,
right.
30,
Boorak!
20,
Bravo, cross
10.
11.
Thanks, buddy.
17 right, Charlie Golf, Bravo, cross 11.
That's crazy. Thanks, man.
What are we doing here?
Cheers, Boorak. Thank you very much. Boorak, welcome. The longest members on the channel as well. We are in America. We're flying from Louisville to Philadelphia in the Rotate MD11. Hopefully in one piece. Thank you very much, buddy. That's very, very generous of you. 200 is about 10 quid. Thanks, Boorak. That's a pint. That's a couple of pints. Well, we'd be hard pushed to get a couple of pints for 10 of these days. Certain cities. Thank you very much, buddy. Right, cleared to cross runway 1129. I will now mute the alerts. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. There's Charlie. Next left is Golf, and then Bravo, and then we'll complete the before takeoff checklist. Let's make sure we're not going to cut anyone up there by whacking my head right out. But yeah, so far so good.
American 4934, contact Louisville departure 132.325, yeah.
This is $0 payware makes some really epic sceneries. And completely free. Completely free. Ah, I've got full left. Why are you not turning? There we are. I didn't quite have full left. So here's Golf. We'll follow the American 738. Look at that 738, so small. That actually looks like a 400. It's got no wingtips. Oh, my taxiing's all over the place today. Oh, Burek, don't worry. I appreciate it nonetheless. Don't worry about that. Usually, if anyone is generous enough to donate, it comes through in the local country currency anyway. It's more than generous of you. Thank you. Right, so before takeoff checklist, sort of going to follow my operators, which checks all the configuration as it needs to be.
218, contact Louisville departure 132325. Have a good one.
132325, thanks to the ATC UPS 218. Bye. So flaps we've got 15. You see all 15 on the flaps there. Really cool. Love that display. So they're all set, slats configured as well. Stab trim 6.7 units set, takeoff briefing. The air conditioning, pressurization is all set. It turns off the packs for departure automatically and then turns them back on after departure. We're going to be climbing straight ahead on the Fedra 5 and then eventually we'll be making a left turn. If I bring up the flight plan on this page here to Pickery, then Freight and then Fedra. Stop altitude's 5,000 feet. We'll sort of accelerate around 1,000 feet. Any problems will climb straight ahead. CMSA, that's it. So checks complete. I've done all the full takeoff checklist. I'm just going to check the checklist, make sure I've not forgotten anything. So flight controls we've checked. Trim sets. Perform taxi checklist. Anti-ice isn't required for departure. After takeoff clearance, select the auto flight button. So we're just going to turn on the
218 level departure, runway 17 right, line up away.
Row 17 right, line up and wait, UPS 218. I can't say this, 218. Business, right, TARA, weather radar's on. And we're going to select the auto flight button. That takes off the takeoff clamp box. And we'll now line up. Going to turn on high intensity lights. Turn on the landing lights as well, taxi light to land. So MCP is set.
You're ready to contact.
Transponder TARA, strobe lights are on. And waiting for our takeoff clearance. And to set the auto throttle, you just simply advance the thrust levers and it sort of bites and just takes it. I'm also going to select nav, which arms.
You can expect a little bigger delay just because I want to get 10 miles of trail between all of you guys.
That's copied. UPS 218 holding on the runway. Excellent, wish me luck. I'm just following the tutorial still with regards to how to get the aircraft configured. There's another fellow UPS colleague. Weather radar's on the ND. Looking good. So yeah, the main gear is a very long way behind the nose gear, so I was a little bit cut the corner there. I think we're good. Just set the parking brake. All ready to go. Oh, got a master caution. Oh, that's for the flight recorder, I think, off because I've set the parking brake. Otherwise, all ready to go. And this is probably like Louisville every day. I don't know how many UPS movements there are.
218 on Airline, wind 2606, runway 17 right, you're cleared for takeoff.
Right, 17 right, clear takeoff, UPS 218. Right, parking brake release, tokens in chat. Guys, I love this aeroplane. I don't have to set a timer, it does it automatically. Right, so set about 40%.
17 right, left away, UPS 64.
That's all stabilised, and if I advance the thrust
approach,
levers,
UPS 456.
there we are, auto frontals taking
Holding short
control,
left
set
right.
takeoff thrust.
UPS 456,
There's the package coming off. Sounds are a bit near. Our takeoff thrust set indications normal. Airspeed's alive. 80 knots checked. There's V1. Rotate. And we're airborne. Positive climb, gears up, and onto the flight directors, which are ultra sensitive. So I'm at a very low altitude here.
Stabilizer motion.
There you go, up, yeah, very sensitive here. There's an outer marker. That's pretty cool.
Center is closed. Radar services are terminated.
Right, so I'm going to select profile. Look at the flight directors.
You are radar contact. Altitude pass.
Passing 2,500 UPS 21.8. Well, look at the flight directors, they're so sensitive.
UPS 218, climb maintain 10,000.
I maintain 10,000 UPS 218. Right, auto flights, there we are. If I can push it again, it's autopilot 1. Whoa! It's taken over. Right, and it's going to accelerate to 250 now. We'll then start retracting the flaps.
UPS 295,
So it's going to get onto the flight directors.
7 left, line of point. Line up on right, 7 left, UPS 95.
I'm just going to wait until the F28 to select the flaps from 15 to the slats. So let's select that now. 10,000.
Altitude.
See the flight directors will select slats up now. It's going to accelerate to 250. So it is the LNAV is much better now, but still very the flight directors are very aggressive.
UPS 295, right up throttle, right 17 left, clear for takeoff.
Stabilizer motion. There we are, 250 knots, up to 10,000 feet. No, the beastie had a flight director a little bit. They're not as sensitive as that. Anyway, I think it's about time we did the after takeoff checklists.
Louisville approach, UPS 1338 heavy, IFR to Tampa.
Disarmed. Turn off the taxi lights. Pressurization, we can probably find that under
1338 heavy, sorry, say
air, so we just want to make sure it's pressurizing. So, yeah, cabin average is slowly increasing, diff pressure's 3, so that's set. And approaching 10,000 feet, so we're going to select vertical speed, 3,000 feet.
On the ground, how do I know?
We need the engine anti-ice, we'll see outside air temperature.
UPS 218, you're leaving my airspace. Indianapolis Center is closed. Radio services are terminated. Proceeds approved for right line.
Face off the ATC, we've got a Unicom, UPS 218, thanks, buddy. Excellent. So approaching 1 to go, just select, well there's no ATC now, so I'm just going to slow that down. We're going to set 350, but you can see now, it's going on the altitude. Now 350 set, we're going to select profile. It's now going to set climb thrust, maintain 250 knots until passing 10,000. And we're on our way. And we're out the cloud. We don't need any engine anti-ice. Temperature is 14 degrees Celsius. Lucian Joseph, the Rotate MD11 is much better now. Yes, certainly laterally it's improved a lot, which is great news. I flew this sector with the older version and it was a mess. So we're going to pitch now down to 321 knots. But yeah, laterally much better now. Once they've, the automation's very sensitive, and what I've found, actually, I don't know if anyone can answer this. Loud. The autopilot in the Rotate MD11 seems to make input on the rudder. See how the rudder's constantly moving? Is that how the real MD11 works? Is the autopilot in the MD11 actually make inputs on rudder? On the 7.3 it doesn't, it's just aileron and roll. And what I've found is, see how it's constantly oscillating here? A lot of people have been saying they think it's active sky that has been causing these issues. What I found, if I actually disconnect the autopilot, it's completely smooth. There's no turbulence. It's just that the automation's sort of fighting itself constantly. But anyway, and it does these little whirls. Look on the green trend vector does these constant whirls. I don't understand what it's doing. But anyway, we're on our way. Let's do our pre-cruise checks. Fuel. We have 3 tanks feeding off each engine. Lights are off, logo. Verify the APU is off. Pressurization. Diff is now 5.1. Cabin altitude 1200 feet set. Leave the seatbelt sign on, might as well. And there's no master caution, so we are. Pre-cruise checks complete. Let me just try. Let me just turn off the autopilot for a second. Or not. How do I actually know it's here, isn't it?
Autopilot.
So you notice how if I...
Autopilot.
Shut up, Betty.
Autopilot.
So notice how if I've just disconnect everything. Let me just get on to the flight directors. Notice how there's nothing wrong with active sky. There's no input from active sky from turbulence at the moment. Look, it's completely smooth. The autopilot is constantly fighting itself with rudder, aileron and pitch, which gives you this impression that it's active sky turbulence. It's not. It's just the automation on this is still a little bit wonky. Look, it's completely fine when you're hand flying it. Very smooth, no turbulence. Let me put the autopilot back in. So auto flight. There you are. So it's now going to bite and take control. It's smooth, but you might find, I found on the ILS it's constantly fighting itself, but as soon as you disconnect it, it's sort of okay. Now, because I've trimmed it out a little bit, got it on the flight director, it's quite smooth, but you see how before it was all over the place. Left, right, yawing, pitching, rolling, there's no turbulence. Disconnects, re-engage, you put it on the flight directors, and now it's fine. So it's, they really need to look at the automation to get it to be more sensitive, because that constant fighting you saw is nothing to do with active sky, it's just the aircraft fighting itself. Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, I don't know who beta tested it. It's sort of like they just did one sector over and over again, but things I tried doing a go-around. The go-around was a mess, like the flight directors all over the place. The toga button, it's quite cool actually, is here, look, on the order from this point button in the centre, engine number 2. I fired some guidance on there, I found it very difficult. Right, there's some cloud that just appeared from nowhere, 3 degrees, so we'll put the engine MTIs on. Engine 1, 2 and 3. We're out of the cloud soon, and we're on our way. Set standard, thank you. That is pull. Standard set. But they'll get there. The systems are fantastic. Like, I love it. You're definitely getting that McDonnell Douglas feel. You know, all the systems. I can see how it's like the MD-80. All the sounds. Well, the engine sounds and environment sounds need improving, but overall, it's fine. Turn off the engine anti-ice. Told I've only seen autopilot works like the inflatable autopilot from airplane movie, sort of. Hi Dave Cruson, hi Captain, I hope you're well. When are you going to do a flight in Canada? Love your channel, thank you very much Dave. Well, we're doing a members group flight a week on Saturday, but it's for the members only, and that will be in Canada. Decided that today, but I could do some public streams in Canada. It's a country I've not visited much, for sure. Peter's classic PID tuning issue. First they make it way too slow, now they've made it way too twitchy. Yeah, now once you've got it on the flight directors and trim, look, it has to make small inputs, but you'll see again on the ILS. But that was my question about the rudder. The rudder seems to be constantly moving with the autopilot engaged. Nice little cloud sandwich here. All that lovely Ortho 4 XP I spent 24 hours downloading. Glow. Look at that. Shame about the sound, but it looks amazing. The only decent MD11 so far is PMDG's FSX. I had no idea PMDG made an MD11. Matthew tried the Rotate MD11 on Explain 11, but it unfortunately lacks realism, especially autopilot. Now, it's funny you mentioned autopilot. I do remember the Rotate MD80 having quite a twitchy autopilot and the flight directors, so if they've carried that across to this, well, it looks like they might have. Overhead shipper. Yeah, we'll see VNAV later, that still needs a bit of fine-tuning, but the foundations are here, the aircraft itself, the systems all seem to be nicely modelled. It's just a big part of aircraft, like a complex aircraft like this, is you need accurate working automation with the flight director system and commands also providing that guidance, that's a huge part of it, and that is pretty, I wouldn't say it's, you know, they fixed the LNAV issue. The LNAV issue seems to be fixed. If you look on Twitter, I posted a few days ago from one of my test sectors the flight, and it was just, I think I did about 10,000 turns on the way here, but look, it's straight as an arrow right now. It's fine. How's LNAV behaving? Very well, Flight Sim Vlogs. Thomas, would you recommend the MD11? In its current state, with what they're charging, no, but if they can get to the bottom of the automation and VNAV issues, right now it's a $50 airplane, $50-$60 airplane, you know, and it's just the launch version was never been launched when it was launched, but they are fixing it. So once they've gotten the twitchy autopilot, which has been less twitchy now, thankfully, fixed, and you'll see in descent shortly, VNAV is just doesn't work. Cabin pressurization relief, that doesn't sound good. Relief valve, it's probably you have negative and positive pressure relief valves, probably the diff pressure's too high. Diff pressure 8.8. I don't know what its max is, 9.1 psi in the 7.3, so it probably blown the positive pressure relief valve. That's just to stop the airplane exploding, by the way. No, it's gone off now. The cabin rate's climbing. 8.7. I'm guessing the cabin, they didn't open the outflow valve. Packs. Oh, it's definitely pressurising, Optimus. Definitely pressurising. The problem is it was over-pressurised. It is dropping now. Diff's 8.7. Cabin altitude's 5,000 feet. Christian, what weather mods are you using? The clouds look amazing. The clouds are from enhanced skyscapes, and I use Active Sky for live weather. The only thing about enhanced skyscapes, it always gives you very high altitude cloud. They do look very good. My ears popped. Yeah, they would if you put a diff pressure valve. But yeah, the 7.3 has it as well. It's basically there's a maximum structural pressurization in PSI. It's just updated, with which the aircraft can tolerate, and basically when it gets to this point here, this pressure valve automatically opens to start depressurising the aeroplane, just to the point where it gets to the maximum diff pressure. Peaches, I think it's showing a little bit that it's been in development for so long. If someone gave us 2 to 3 years ago, it would be very impressive, with other payware for X-Plane being equally buggy. But in the last 1 to 2 years, the quality has gone up drastically with Phoenix, Indy, etc. Yes, and the Indy had some teething problems when it was released, but they were very communicative and told, as Rotate had seemed to have been in the forums with regards to getting them fixed. So this sort of trend, and I've seen people talk about it, and we talked about it as well, of developers releasing an aircraft that isn't actually technically ready, charging for it, and then sort of using us as testers to say, look, this isn't working. It seems to be no good. But yeah, I see some. The thing is, though, one of my big concerns, change the topic slightly, is some of the crap that's available now in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, I saw that thing about Captain Sim. Captain Sim, I used to have their aircraft on FSX. or FS 2004 years ago. It's quite good. I've just seen he's released a C-130. It doesn't even come with a cockpit. And it reminds you of who remembers the days of FS 2004 and FSX where you'd have to download a separate panel for the aircraft. It's crazy. There are some great aircraft available on Microsoft Flight Simulator. We've just flown the Wing 42 Boeing 247 for the last few live streams. Epic aircraft, absolutely awesome, and a ridiculously cheap price. But there is some crap on that store at the moment. Dave Hagan, enhanced skyscapes causes me FPS, unfortunately. Yeah, it is a little bit FPS sensitive, and on my old PC I had that issue, but on the Mega PC, no problems at all. There we are. My American friends, educate me. Where are we overhead? What state? Crikey, we're 2 aircraft ahead. We're leaving Kentucky, going to Pennsylvania, but I think we cross some states, don't we? Dear old Dad, how's she behaving? Not too bad. The lateral navigation fine. Automation, autopilot, still a bit twitchy, but once you're in the cruise here, it's fine. Much, much better than the release version. Mark, is the MD11 tricky to handle? Landing speed is much higher than most other aircraft. We're not too heavy today, so approach speed is still quite fast. I don't know what it is at max landing weight. But again, like most aircraft and airplanes, it does seem to want to float a lot. That's what I found there. Felipe, are you on a computer or PC? Hey, what's the difference? I'm on a PC, I guess. TKC, if you had £100 to spend on add-ons and you own none, what do you recommend for X-Plane? Oh, £100. First thing, Active Sky. That's the first thing that I'd get. Enhanced Skyscapes is not a big must, but if I'm perfectly honest, if you're looking at my sim and you enjoy what you see here, from a payware point of view, the only thing you're seeing is Enhanced Skyscapes. That's it. This is Ortho 4XP below, free. All the plugins I use are mostly free. If you want to use the command ! Plugins to see all my plugins. Yeah, X-Plane has a fantastic free user base available. So yeah, and I'd only say Active Sky is the one you'd really need. And you'd have plenty of change for £100. Thanks, DB Veta. You'll cross West Virginia into Pennsylvania. Very cool. Tom Gibley, is the MD predominantly used for cargo now? I find you don't see many passenger versions anymore. I really don't know. I should think if there are any passenger variants left, there'd be very few. I think KLM retired theirs not so long ago.
Monitor vertical speed.
Oh.
Monitor vertical speed. Clear
Yes.
of conflict.
Well. It works. There's an aircraft climbing to my level within 5 miles. Where is he? It'd be quite useful if this was earlier in real life. Is it that American Airlines? Oh yeah. It's him. Hopefully he's climbing above. So he's just climbing for our level. And going much slower. Sus. Have you flown the Magnite? I haven't, TKC. Yeah, so I was... I did see that the Concorde was out now for Microsoft Flight Simulator by DC Simulations. Credit to DC Simulations, they are sort of advertising it as sort of a Concorde Lite, let's say. It's not a Concorde like you get from Colomata or the FS Labs version. It's sort of had a look at it, you know, it has an FMS, basic autopilot, and it's not the sort of thing I'd want to stream on the channel. I mean, I like having a bit of fun and stuff, but you know, we like high fidelity aircraft here, so I don't know, I'm sat on the fence a little bit about streaming it. I'd rather do a stream in the Colomata one, but I'm no discredit to these simulations though, because they're targeting a different audience. Let's say if you're a younger guy, or you just want to have a Concorde experience that's easier, it's going to be a good aircraft for them. John Bros, I'd like to sim. I hope all is well. Got my CPR yesterday and starting my CFI training soon. Take care. Fantastic news. Congratulations. Best of luck with your instructor rating, buddy. Amazing. XR Viper, to chat at myself, what plane in your opinion would be more fun to fly, the 737 in PMDG or the Zibo 737X plane? Good question. Well, if PMDG can really make a decent 737, which I have no doubt they will, with Microsoft Flight Simulator and the world to play with, you could argue it's a bit of a no-brainer, but will it match the in-depth simulations? I mean, you won't find, and all the aircraft I've flown in X-Plane 11 and other simulators, there isn't one with a more accurate FMS and VNAV system. The VNAV in the Zibo mod is absolute perfection. In fact, my last flight, by the way, the FO called in sick, and I flew with another captain. It was great. It was with a captain I used to fly with years ago when I was a first officer. Had a great day out, and his son is quite into simming, and I was talking about flight simulators as well, and I was explaining to him about how the Zibo mod works, and showed him, and he could not believe how it works and how accurate it was, how it works with like the VNAV logic on non-precision approaches. And I showed him, and I was like, wow, it's crazy. Optimus Subprime, do you see a growing trend to cater more to the casual gamers and not the consumers of study level or study adjacent aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator? Yes, I think so. I think the market is there. I mean, it's on Xbox for a start, and that's fine. But you're not going to have an aircraft, a high quality aircraft, or able to use that on Xbox, are you? I mean, I don't understand how you'd interact with all the buttons and controls, but I certainly don't see. I'd say there's a growing trend for aircraft like that Optimus Subprime, but it's still not. It's not a declining trend for high quality aircraft. Available, and of which this will eventually be one for sure. One thing I do notice though, you might hear this little buzzing sound. It's the autothrottle constantly moving. It's quite smooth at the moment. It does have a habit of chasing speed. It doesn't seem to set. It doesn't seem to ever set one thrust setting. Aircraft like the NG. The autothrottle is constantly moving, sort of sets thrust, and then as the speed decays or increases, it'll change thrust and then have a new thrust setting. It's constantly moving. See how it's constantly changing here all the time, very slowly. You can find if the wind changes, it is chasing that speed slightly. What is your favourite aircraft other than the Zibo set Mason Island or all the Indy builds aircraft? Really like those. I mean, there's so many. The Dash 8 from FlyJ Sim, their 727, their 737-200, albeit they need to address the control issues with the 200. The Felis 747-200. There's so many incredible aircraft available. The Wing 42 had such a blast preparing those streams. I love that stream we did flying in California those days. So cool. There's so many aircraft. But what would I say my favourite out of the Zibo is? I really genuinely don't have it. I really don't have one. Genuinely. Uh-oh, got another TCAS. Oh, that autothrottle activity is accurate, says Ellis. The plane does that. Really though? Does it constantly chase the speed? Is that American Airlines? What are you doing? He's all over the place. Climbing, descending. Maybe that's someone else. I know there's one. He's literally 10 miles ahead. No, to be fair, that's not him. DFW HVAC, what's the view on your possibility of all electric passenger airplanes in the future for more regional flights? I think the first thing you're going to see is airlines like FedEx and UPS having little single engine electric aircraft, and the technology's not too far away. I think there's a number of manufacturers looking into that technology, and there's aircraft in testing. They'll be replacing sort of like the Cessna Caravans and things, but yeah, viable commercial electric aircraft, I think they're still a way off. to go. Scenery looks great though. Hello, Flight Ra. Could you fly the Colomard sometime? Also, future PMDG 737. Yeah, loads of PMDG 737 stuff will be coming there, Flight Ra. I promise you that. And yeah, we're going to look at Colomard's conquest stream again soon. Thanks a lot, Mark Halford, for your £2.49 donation. With a man with a lemon as a head. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, buddy. How do you select these things? Outrageous. XR Viper, you planning on doing a Zebo stream soon? Oh, XR Viper, yeah, I mean, our last stream was the Zebo mod. We did the engine fire stream. We might just do a normal 2.6 a day at some point. What are we today? Wednesday. I'll hope I might be able to get a stream. Work, guys, you'll be pleased to hear, it's just picked up tremendously. Very, very busy. And for those of you in the UK, you might have seen, I'm sure it's the case in other places in Europe, airports are all massively understaffed. You know, chaos. With security and customs and immigration. It's very, very busy. Please contact me. Please don't respond by private message. Use frequency. Right, excellent. That's ATC. I think it's DC Centre.
P9 radar contacts. 10 miles southwest of Sand Hills. VOR 50410 local. 469 Roger.
Centre, hello, it's UPS 218, maintaining flight level 350, inbound Bravo Kilo Whiskey.
UPS 218, Washington Center, Squawk 3, Squawk 3565.
Squawk 3565, UPS 218. 3565.
Washington Center, Walker 1418, and the weather. 1418, Roger.
Yeah, you're quite right, Todd Gilby. It's because airport staff aren't paid enough. Absolutely. You know, the COVID pandemic occurred. Airports very readily laid off most of their staff, and they have not preempted this huge demand and pent-up demand for commercial. Everyone's gone on holiday, which had 2 years of a pandemic, and no one wants to return to that work. Minimum wage, 12-hour shifts. Everyone doing other things, and obviously to report airport staff, most of them have to work in critical areas. It requires background checks. You can't just hire someone and have them working next day.
Squawk 3675.
I saw something in the post there. It talks about which recommended that airlines should be penalised for delays. It shouldn't be airlines at all. It's the airport's fault for not recruiting enough staff. It's ridiculous. I don't know if that was for me.
UPS 218, vector for traffic, turn left heading 040.
Left heading 040 degrees, UPS 218. So it's a pull, I think. There we are, pull. Let's see how it behaves in heading. So you can see how the flight director shoots off to the left, and then the aircraft slowly starts following it. But yeah, it seems to be much, much better. Edinburgh Airport, shockingly better right now. I don't think there's many UK airports escaping, Craig. Certainly mine is affected by it.
UPS 218, do not exceed Mach 78.
78 maximum, UPS 218. What am I doing right now? 82. Uh-oh. Right, so I guess this is a pull. Mac. 278. I think I need to pull it again, don't I?
74 Roger, are you available to 18 Mach 81?
I'm McDonnell Douglasing. So that's a big vector.
284, 18 Mach 80 or greater.
Just create some spacing. Ellis, can we look at the fuel synoptic rather than the air conditioning? Yes, sir.
Heading 130.
We are 4.5 turns, 4.5 tons burn each engine, pretty much.
Giant 2456.
13.5 tons. We'll do a fuel check, but I know it's banging cloud here. It is very flight very conservative.
Bravo 320, V7 maintain 10,000 in expedite. The Philadelphia altimeter 4.
IFR Captain, VNAV works, it just doesn't display right. We'll help you on the way down. Just set low altitude, help her with a speed brake a bit. Oh yeah, well certainly yeah, the displays aren't working because the VNAV guidance has like a fixed number. But if if you don't use speed brake, it'll just exceed MMO. And it doesn't seem to want to make any of the restrictions. Like I put the restrictions in it, VNAV doesn't make any of them. It just seems to be all over the place. Another issue I found is the timing seemed to be off. So the ETAs to some of the waypoints were basically decreasing over time. Obviously we're not off route here, but I was finding that the time was decreasing.
UPS 218, turn right heading 100.
Right heading 100 degrees, so UPS 218. I don't like how you have to do that then pull it.
UPS 295 heavy, viable 300.
Little wee on the treadmill.
UPS 295, Washington Center, hello, squawk 3715.
3715, UPS 95.
Good down there though. That's zoom level 16.
Washington Center, 69 Bravo, runway 17 right, approach. 69 Bravo, Roger.
Aurora Sang, the volumetric textures are so beautiful. Good evening in South Africa. They do look grand. Thank you very much. Nice of you to pop in all the way from there. Amazing.
Rolex 320, contact Philadelphia, approach 128.4, good day.
Those times are updating from what's happening. MD11 doesn't use the VNAV term, so profile mode, sorry. Ellis, I seem to be upsetting you a lot tonight, I'm sorry.
UPS 218, descend 18, flight level 330.
So maintain flight level 330, UPS 218. So we're going to step down.
Washington Center, good day, UPS
So I'm going to select vertical speed. Just do 1,000 feet per minute. And then if I can update the flight level in here somehow.
UPS 64, Washington Center, squawk 3632.
Minute maybe?
3632, UPS 64.
Entry out of range. How do you update the cruise level in the FMS?
Flight level 330. American 4934, clear, direct Montebello.
So the throttle is maintaining 7.8. We're descending to 330 vertical speed.
UPS 456, flight level 330. UPS 456, Washington Center, squawk 3515. 3515, UPS 456.
Flight array, do you have hope to transition from 732 to anything else like 777 or 78? No. I have no wish to fly long haul. I quite enjoy being home most nights. Pretty much every night. So. I want to go.
Philadelphia altimeter 29 4.
So yeah, VNAV we'll talk about later, but in descent, I had to put a lot of restrictions in manually. It seems to want to level off. I mean, you can see it here. I don't know if we've got any on devs here. Look at this, we have 3,000 feet level. So I don't know why it wants to level off at 3,000. It's weird. There's no restriction in the FMS. If I select this, there's no restriction whatsoever.
1578 Washington Center.
It just seems to want to be level for ages. Look at that, a level at 19, all the way until 25, so it has a 6-minute level segment at 3,000 feet, so I have no idea why it's programmed that.
Yes, sir, cross runway 33.
So it looks like we're just going to stay on this heading for a while. We're just kind of parallel
49, 34, descend maintain flight level 310 now.
Not a 310, American 4934.
Yes, 295, turn left heading 040.
There's Bucky. Now, pink arrow I think is where profile / VNAV wants you to send. The blue arrow, I don't know what the blue arrow is.
Maintain flight level 330 and turn.
Amazed, do you think you'll retire the Zebo from your future streams when the PMT is released? I won't be retiring it, no, but obviously I will be streaming both, including a comparison video.
UPS 456, maintain Mach 78 and
So many UPSs today, it's like an alpaca, but UPS.
330 Mach 0.78, UPS 456.
Superb.
218, reduce to Mach 76.
I'll go backwards soon. 76 UPS 218.
UPS 4395, cross Bucky and then maintain
76 and then pull.
Cross Bucky at 25240, UPS 5395.
Yeah, and
Seven
unfortunately,
Alpha, the 718, level 200.
got into a little bit of a block of traffic here. So you see how it spaces out.
The 7 turn, actual turn, the 718 2000, provides field sight 9 o'clock in 3 minutes.
But he's doing so good.
718 2000, we have field sight.
And as you can put 78 in the FMS dial, 78 again, and push the button. I mean, I'm doing what I do in real life. In the 7.3, I just keep the speed window open because I want to return back to that speed if possible. Unless it was like a permanent speed restriction. It does exactly the same thing. Features don't complain, 7.6, I'm going 7.5 behind you.
Yes, 782, contact Philadelphia, approach 128.4, good day. 128.4, yes, 782, thank you, bye-bye.
Watch more, we're ready to go 19.
Hey Paul Eddie, hope you're doing well, buddy.
74, same Mach number. UPS 295, turn right heading 100.
Right, so what I'm going to do is let the approach charts here.
Go ahead, Southwest.
Post 284, what is your Mach number?
Mach is 181.
So expecting a Pat 3.
American 4934,
Looking for 7 left in Philadelphia because the UPS parked to the south.
Number 720, runway 1 enter, clear for takeoff.
If you look here, there we are. So it just says UPS. I think this is all UPS here in Philadelphia. So the plan is to land at 27 left. If we can make Yankee, that'd be great. If not, we have to vacate to the right, backtrack, and then go in via Yankee the other
Yeah,
side.
it's 292 Washington Center, hello, Iden.
So, let's start some of these restrictions here. So this star has you very low, very early. JBO, look, expect 15,000, and then 10,000 at SO. It's very low, very early. I think this is just because of the congestion in airspace. So I'm going to put these restrictions in. So JBO got 238, but we're going to follow the arrival. So I'm going to put 15,000 at JBO. So you can see it sort of updates itself, which is pretty cool. But you can just see it just doesn't look right. Look, JBO to hedge 9 miles, and it wants in 1 minute to get to 10,000 feet. Now I don't understand why, what it's doing here. 2 minutes, so well, that's a bit more realistic, I suppose, 10,000. But it's still trying to get low very early. All I'm going to do is put SO 10,000 feet here. Don't want to be
UPS 218, turn right heading 160, vector for space.
Right, 160 degrees, UPS 218.
4934, reduce to Mach 77.
Mach 77, American 4934.
All over. 10,000 feet at SO. So it's updated, you can see it's changing everything, which is good. And then Pat's 8,600 roll. Beals. Again, it wants us down at 3,000 feet at Beals, which you can't be. Look, minimum altitude is 4,000. So again, it's just getting very low, very early for some reason. Now, what I want to be at Warwick, you've got to be at 190, which it has coded, but I don't want to be down at 3,000. When you're downwind around that position, you want to be around 5,000 or 6,000 feet. So what I'm going to do is put at Warwick 6,000.
It's 456, do not exceed Mach 80.
There we are. So I've sort of had to make quite a lot of adjustments to this. Again, it's planning a level segment here at 6,000 feet for ages for some reason. So that's all then. Oh, SO at 250 knots as well. Yes, I should put that in. SO's got 245, so that's fine. That's below the speed limit.
SO, just confirm SO.
Listen, how does one pronounce peace out? Absolutely. Ellis, if you change the FMS speed to magenta now, it will help with the FMS planning for descent. Yeah, I'll try. So you said push it in, yeah? I pushed it in for you, there you go. Doesn't seem to have done anything. But we'll see how it behaves. We're still quite away from the top of the descent.
210 climbing through 1,600.
Delta 473 Alpha, contact box.
These are some wiggly vectors to increase the distance here between us and American Airlines, but it is working.
Yes, 218, turn left, turn to Montebello, Mike Oscar Lima. Yes, 218, turn left, to Montebello, Mike Oscar Lima.
Drive Mike Oscar Lima, UPS 218, so directed descent.
Washington Center, Nitro 22 on the ground at Andrews.
So hard to hear this controller, it's
Yes, 295, turn right, heading 16.
monotone. So direct, insert, and then nav. There we are.
Turn following at Andrews, stand by. EBS 218, Mach, correction, maintain Mach 80.
Decimal 80, UPS 218. Push that again then. Pull, push.
292, radar contact 10 miles west of Beckley, file 370.
So he's doing a good job sequencing everyone, that's wicked.
Shake 542, runway 19.
What did I read there? Lauren, you in fact can't descend below lowest cleared altitude, so VNAV below 10,000 feet on this arrival is kind of useless. Yeah, it's not the best really to test it. You're right. But you see you have these minimum altitudes here, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, 3,000. I'm guessing that these restrictions here are just for airspace requirements. Very low, very early. So there's a lot of arrivals into Paris are like that. I flown into airport Paris. We had to be at flight level 90, 120 miles from the airport. IFR Captain ISM is always 1 degree off. Oh, I've been I 737 it IFR Captain. I don't know if it can do an Airbus sort of style thing where you don't need to tune anything, but I have been tuning the ILS and courses manually.
Unfortunately, we're reconnected, and I've already changed my sequence, so you're gonna have to go.
Ellis, I know I said I wanted to use that. I'm going to update it. Patience. And Ellis, you never got back to me on your comment. You're criticising me on the Boeing 247, saying you were saying the fuel gauges weren't working. But that's because you need to pull that little plunger. I'm working hard here, Ellis.
Montebello, Mike Oscar Lima, maintain Mach 80.
FMS speed. So if I push that in and then push FMS speed, it's going to do 824. I need to update it in the FMS. How do I update it in the FMS, Ellis? Or here, look, maybe. Not allowed. Or edit. Done. FMS speed. I did it. I did a thing. That's the first thing to go. It's the hearing when you get old, eh? Unbelievable. Right, so updated decimal 80. Top of descent is here. So it's an 80-mile range, so just over 80 miles. So we put the restrictions in. We put 15,000 at JBO, 10,000 at SO. I've manually entered 6,000 feet at WIAC because I don't want to be down at 3,000 feet at Roll or Beals or wherever it put it. It's way too low. So that's 6,000 feet. That 6,000 feet restriction is going to work out quite nicely. Again, it's still commanding a level segment for 7-minute level segment. Look, that's no good. So I'm probably going to use vertical speed. My question to the MD11 experts, Ellis as well. Ellis, why have I got a level segment here for 6,000? Surely it should generate a top of descent. Well, I say surely, I'm thinking 7.3. It should generate a top of descent point, but you don't want to be low level at 6,000 feet in an MD11 doing 250 knots. Rosering, why weather themes change every 2 minutes? Yeah, that's a mixture of enhanced skyscapes and active sky. When active sky updated, when they're updated, also enhanced skyscapes. The clouds are always sort of a bit funky at high altitude. the class just disappeared again. Right, so we're happy with the arrival. We're going to get vectors after peace out, or prior to peace out. We'll have to maintain heading then. It's the ILS then. 27 left. We're going to have 109 3. So what we're going to do is go here to nav radio. 109 3. And the ident is India Golf Lima Charlie. Which one is this?
UPS 4395, descend to maintain flight level 200.
Can't see it. Probably too far out still. Yeah, 162 miles. We have to wait a little bit longer.
218, cross Bucky and maintain flight level 240.
At Bucky, cross at 240, UPS 218. So this will be a test for the aircraft. Let's go to flight plan. Bucky.
UPS 486, what's your normal speed?
240.
Is that
240, and we'll put it at. So we're going to test it here. 240 at Bucky. Should have generated new topic set points. So what we'll do prior to that, we'll set 240 to descent.
Mach 1, UPS 456. Southwest 284, turn left heading 0900. Southwest 284, turn
So yeah, we'll carry on tuning the ILS when we get a little bit closer, just so we can set the correct nav. It seems still pretty far out here. In fact, 27, 250 miles still, so we're quite a way out still. It reckons it's going to be there at 1927. Be a bit earlier than that. I just think these times are a little bit off there. 1927, that's still 50 minutes away. And the flight time's out 20, and we've been airborne for 45 minutes. Two done, so looking forward to X-Plane 12 for revised default weather engine and clouds. Yes, it'll be interesting to see how the default weather engine is, and see if active sky will be able to will be needed. Certainly in X-Plane 11 the default wind model isn't great. The way it models variable winds and gusts makes the aircraft pretty much uncontrollable. I remember when I saw it.
BS 4395, cross J-Bow and 15000 to the Baltimore altimeter 2900.
Cross J-Bill 15000, altimeter 2902, UPS 5395.
Sweet. He's done a great job with the spacing.
Center spare wings 289er, flight level 380, like to pick up IFR.
That restriction he gave us, expect across 240 at Bucky. Can I descend when ready? Well, I'll confirm with ATC. Always the big thing, I upset a lot of Americans with this. But in Europe, we're very strict with descent procedures. United 1 Super, hey, quick question, what's the difference between Zebo 7.3 and the level up 7.3? Because I fly Zebo and I want to know why I would switch. Yeah, the level up basically gives you all the variants of the NG. The textures and sound I think are a little better as well.
295 crosses Bucky and maintain.
What is the navigation doing here? Like a flight director command to the left, but it's not following it.
Yeah, 64 vector for spacing, turn 10 degrees left. 10 degrees left, new ending 100 UPS.
Not sure what's going on with the flight directors here. They're commanding a left turn, but the aircraft is just sort of flying straight and level. Let me just go direct to my waypoint again, GV.
Washington Center, FedEx 1434. Good afternoon. At flight level 350 inbound is Center.
I've just gone direct to Golf Victor Echo again. Flight director seems to be wonky, but it's not following it.
1434. 3561.
LS-80C clear due to cross the 240. You should set 240 in the altitude window, but don't pull it. It looks like I'm slipping.
Oh
yeah. Oh, I think my rudder pushed in slightly. My bad, aircraft. That was me. I think I actually had I had a bit of rudder input on my feet. That's completely my bad. I'll just confirm that ATC clearance for ATC. Centre UPS 218. Just confirm we are cleared to make the 240 restriction of Buckeye. Of the Buckeye.
ready for me to descend whenever. Just make sure you cross Bucky at flight level 240.
Okay. So yeah, that's one of the big differences in America and Europe is you often get clearance, you have specifically cleared to descend. You can be advised to descend 240, but not necessarily be cleared. So they usually words in the UK they'll say expect 240. I was accidentally pushing. So yeah, my bad. Sorry, Rotate team. The aircraft's actually been pretty. I would use the word flawless in LNAV. That was my fault. So I was actually had a little bit of rudder in. Pressing my feet by rudder pedals. So now I've got 240 set. It should descend automatically, correct? As long as I'm in prof mode, which I am. What have I done there? I've got a hold here now. As it is. IMATAM's cross and maintain is US version of when ready, got you. That would make perfect sense. Cross, yeah. So. It's a slight difference there.
Flight level 320, Walker.
See how it behaves then.
Yeah, 64, Premier 2, Gordonsville, Golf, Victor, Echo, Cross, Bucky at flight level 2.
Petrich correct, that is the EU phraseology. Thanks, Ellis. Perfect. You should sell the zone. I appreciate all the inputs. Beautiful scenery. Last time I did this, sort of did a dirty dive.
Your radar contact about 40 miles east of Clarksburg. You are flight level 380.
Lots of traffic around. It's great. Hey, buddy.
Wings 289.
Attic 1494 radar contact 10 west of Beckley at flight level 350.
Lisbon is only the US that differs in how he phrases things, or does every region of the earth have their own way of adhering to international rules? The US, yeah, they do things slightly differently here than Europe. Different phraseology, but then again, the UK has very different phraseology in certain sections, or unique phraseology as well. On your bed, buddy. Yeah, sorry, no yoke cam today. I did actually think about getting the yoke cam set up, but I don't know how to do the 3 thrust levers for the quadrant.
774 to set up 240.
Right. Top of the sensor chat then, let's see how we do the Bucky restriction then. So,
yes, 4395, cross Pesto at 10,000, speed 250, the Philadelphia altimeter 200 forward.
is he going to descend?
Cross SO at 10,000, speed 250 knots, altimeter 295.
Not quite there yet.
UPS 5395.
There it goes. So it started its descent, profile 240, looking good. But what does the 160 mean? And then it's put me instantly high on profile. So let's just see what it does here. Has VNAV sort of similar to a 7.3.
Yes, 456, raise speed.
So the blue arrow, is the blue arrow where we're going to be at 240? It's looking high and it's increasing the airspeed. I need to maintain decimal 80, remember? Why is it not doing that? The throttle is an idle.
MS4V6 cross Bucky at level 240.
Initialize cruise level. Align IRS? What? I don't want that one in flight.
4934, maintain 320 knots per meter in transition.
The IRS is all aligned, looks okay. So I'm going to have to use speed brake here. So look, its speed is running away, so I'm going to use speed brake because I need to maintain decimal 80.
UPS 218, maintain Mach correction, maintain 320 knots or greater in transition.
320 knots or greater on transition, UPS 218. I find it very difficult to listen out for this guy's voice. So I'm going to stow the speed brake, but it sort of isn't like an idle path descent, it seems to struggle to maintain speed, but if he wants 320 or greater on transition, that's fine. That works for us.
Cross speed level 240, airspeed 4.
Looks like we're going to make the restriction. It might put us very early though at 240. Look at the speed go though. The speed's running away.
1434, descent of 18, flight level 210. Descent of 19, flight level 210, FedEx 1434.
Just keeping an eye on it so it doesn't. I mean, 320 knots. It's fine. 350, 8.4. Yeah, I'm going to use a little bit of speed brake here.
American 310, Washington Center.
Add drag, I am, sir.
3573, American 310.
So it has put us at 240 by Bucky, but really early, but it's still saying we're high on profile. There's the profile coming in now. But why did it put me instantly high? Surely it should keep you on profile the entire time. Right, so I'm stowing the speed brake now. And it's put us 240, 34 miles before Bucky. Surely, it ideally should put you bang at Bucky at 240. That's how profile or VNAV, the VNAV would work in a 7.3. It seems to put me at 240 very, very early. But that's what it wanted to do, so fine. Is that how the MD11 should work though? Does it just put you there really early? There's differences between the same, I don't know. But it seems to have at 240, we're level. Yeah, we need to do 320 knots as well. Just pause this for a second until I update this. So how do I update my descent speed to 320 knots? Max descent 390. 320, there we go. Policy descent. I like it. No, not 340. I'm just keeping the speed window open. 320 is what I'll be doing in the 7.3. Perfect. Could you have just flown the profile yourself, do some math time to waypoint energy remaining, and just do it that way? Yeah, you could do it that way, Optimus. I've just treat it like the 200 or the Classic. That's what I did on the test sector, to be fair, because it was all over the place. Speed, distance, time calculations, all you need. And you've got all that information. But it's flyable, you know, it's flyable. Just don't understand why VNAV put us at 240 so early. What can you do, eh? What can you do? Throwing the anchor. Oh my god, 50 quid! Very generous of you. Thank you, Jay. Hang on.
Loving the stream, my guy.
Thank you very much, Jay, for your 50 quid donation. Very generous of you, sir. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, wherever you are. Thanks, buddy. Simple comments as well. Very, very kind of you, sir. Thank you very much, Jay. No worries, mate, he says. Thank you. I can only tell thank you. But anyway, 240 Bucky. We're on the arrival. We should be able to get the ILS frequencies in now. We're not even on the arrival yet. Next restriction we've got is 15,000 at Jabo. So I'm going for setting up this ILS now. We should be a little bit closer. So, nav radio 1093. Sorry, just confirm that clear level, UPS 218.
Level 200.
So maintain flight level 200, UPS 218. So 200. What if I select profile now? I don't think it will descend, so he wants to descend now, so I'm just going to use VS 1000. Thank you very much, Bubblegum SG, for becoming a member. Glad you're enjoying content, buddy. I've seen you around here on the streets before. You'll get invited to our members only Discord. I've enjoyed using the custom emoji chat as well. Thank you very much for the donation. There we are, India Golf Lima Charlie 193/193/267. Again, you might not need to do this if you've got the approach selected in the FMS, but I'm not taking any risks. So frequencies courses are in, minimum's 210.
Maintain 4000, expect 21010 minutes after departure. Departure with you in 3773 on the squawk.
Level 2708, reback to script.
And ready for push and start.
2708, go Azure taxi, runway 15 left.
So profiles now, the profile mode is showing me high on profile. Interesting. So, this is frustrating. You can see.
1986 Washington, clear to the Boston Airport.
There we are. 210 minimum sets. So remember Jabo is expect 15,000. It doesn't seem to be, well, when you have the line above and below, that would imply it is a mandatory requirement, but it does say expect. Whether in reality, if I saw that, I wouldn't interpret that as a restriction if it says expect. But obviously controlled by ATC.
Climate maintained for level 350.
Tom Basket down, I missed the alert for the stream. How's it all landing? Not bad, Tom. Laterally fine. VNAV seems a bit funky, but again, it could be a different stream being operating this aircraft. Luigi, thanks to 13 months. Glad there's finally an MD11 ready to join the Alpaca fleet. Can't wait to see the landing. Good luck, Captain. Cheers. Thank you very much, Luigi. Alice, don't worry about the profile. You're on radar vectors. Not vectors at the moment. Currently inbound to JBO. But no doubt I'll get vectors soon. We'll just, AT has cleared us lower. There we are. And send across JBO at 15,000 and just convert the pressure setting, UPS 280. 29904. Perfect. So 29904.
495 to set a maintain for level 200.
Is set. I've selected profile. So I'm guessing it's now. So we're in profile now down to 15,000. So I'm going to let it do its thing. I've just got to use speed brake again because look at the speed just running away. Just want to maintain 320 knots, so it's our ATC restricted speed there. So again, it's commanding that higher speed, but we'll just use speed brake. See how this does the restriction at JBO.
Transmission 330 knots, sir. Please. Roger, 330 knots, UPS 61.
I do love American rivals though, super cool. So speed brakes out for full. I am enjoying it though, I like this. I am enjoying the MD11. So quirky. Mates, how's your real life max rating going? I recall you saying you were trying to get it. Well, trying to get it. I have done the max training. I have a max on my type rating, just not yet to fly one, unfortunately. So it looks like profile's going to put us at 15,000 at JBO. Just got that speed brake out, which is doing our absolute best to make that restriction and maintain 320 knots. Alright, so it's levelling off now. It's a bit jerky, but it is doing it. So again, profile mode has put us low prior to JBO. We're still 10 miles away, but it is putting us at 15,000.
50, 40, 30.
Thank you very much, Lord Robson, for the £20. That's very kind of you, sir. Oh.
I forgot to contribute to your birthday thingy, Bob.
Don't worry about it.
Happy belated birthday, Captain.
Thank you very much, Lord Robson, for the 20 quid. That's very generous of you. Thank you very much. Don't worry about that at all. I don't worry about it. It was absolutely stupendous what all you members did for me, so thank you very much for that as well. Yes, it was my birthday yesterday, guys. I'm a year older. Thank you to all the members for everything you did. It's just... every year just blows me away, so thanks guys. Lucian, the systems of this aircraft seem to be accurate unless the bugs are on the VNAV and LNAV. LNAV seems so much better though. VNAV just seems very quirky for me. Very quirky. So, we've made the 15,000 restriction. It does seem to have this magenta 10,000 at 250 with a circle there, but the actual restriction is an ESO. If I go here to the flight plan page, you can see like 15,000 JBO, there's the 10,000 250 SO, so that's okay. We're maintaining 320. DD, thank you. Unfortunately, with the membership comment renewal, Jane won't read them. I'll have to do it instead. Affiliate names for Jane to read. Show Cocken, Boller, Quint, as Welsh. Shui Gill River. Now I'm hungry for Pat's cheesesteak. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, it was yesterday. I'm already done. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Right, we finished the arrival briefing. The ILS didn't really brief. Expecting vectors, MSA 2600. It is all coded in the FMC. Remember, we put a higher altitude just for a bit more of a CDA at Warwick. We need to be back at 190 knots, so we'll have the slats extended. Onto the ILS, then the platform is 3,000 feet and separate glides like a tour. There's tour 3,000 feet, even though it wants us level way before. If you have to go around, the little go around button is here. Now, I don't know what the initial flap setting is. I think it's flap 28. Set going first product. Gear up. Go to 1,500 feet, left turn to 3,000 feet. So it is coded 1,500. Left turn to Woodstown, 12.8, climb to 3,000 feet. Do a quick fuel check actually. I know the burn is a little bit inaccurate on this aircraft for now, but just see what we have. Maybe we just took minimum block fuel. Across SO at 10,000, speed 250 knots, UPS 218. So, 218, 250. So I'm going to slow right down now. And am I right in thinking if I pull this, I don't actually want to use profile, I want to use idle. This is level change. So this is idle clap, which is level change. Using speed brakes, I want to slow down and go down here. So remember, profile VNAV is just a mode. Remember the MCP is a toolbox. Use whatever you need to do to get the job done. So I've used level change or idle clamp to go down to 250 and 10,000. Just left that restriction quite late, unfortunately. Only 6 miles away from. Oh no, SO. I thought this was SO here. Why is it saying 250, 10,000 overhead canny? Oh, we're fine. So I'm going to stow the speed brake. And this is where I'm getting a bit confused. It's got it in the FMC, look. 10,000 feet at SO. SO is still... We're going to be there at 03. Still 3 minutes away from SO, but it's showing me high on profile. Unless it's 160. It's fixed. I don't know what the 160 reference is.
Approach 2435, airspread 469.
So yeah, we'll just use level change 250. And in fact, I can now use vertical speeds. I think the VS window opens at whatever your present vertical speed is. So we're just going to do 1,000 feet per minute. We've got about 3 minutes, and then we could do a bit more of a CDA.
18, contact Philadelphia bridge 128.4.
128.4, UPS 218, facing ATC, bye. Is it Philly? Do you say Philly approach?
4395 heavy, turn left heading 360, descend and maintain 2000.
Oh look, that restriction's moved now. 10,250.
2,000, UPS 5395 heavy.
Jane ran off with Jim, what's this? Philadelphia, hello, it's UPS 218, descending to 10,000, speed 250 knots, inbound to SO.
UPS 218 heavy, Philadelphia approach, Philly altimeter 29904, expect the ILS runway 27 right approach.
2994, we're going to request ILS 27 left for the UPS ramp if possible.
UPS 218 heavy, let me coordinate that with the tower. Stand by.
Thank you, no problem if not. So, you can see, look, I'm not making any inputs on the controls here. Look how it's sort of now beginning to fight itself. Look at the LNAV off to the left. If you look here, you'll see, look, lots of little aileron inputs, the rudder,
UPS
left,
218
right.
heavy, expect the ILS for runway 27 left.
ILS 27 left, thank you very much, UPS 218. I'm not doing anything here at all. There's no inputs whatsoever on my controls. Now, let me just disconnect the autopilot to show you.
6,000 American Ford
As soon as I disconnect it,
UPS 4395
there we are. To be fair, there's a little bit of turbulence here,
intercept the runway 27 right localizer.
but not like earlier. It seems to be just over-controlling a lot here. Whoa, let's go left and try to get onto the flight director. That flight director is so sensitive. Look, full left, then full right. Come on.
Until established on the localizer. There's the ILS 27 right approach. 2000 to establish, UPS flight 395
So it just really struggles in weather. There was a bit of turbulence there. Anyway, we've met the 10,000 feet restriction in vertical speed. That's fine. 250 knots. Yeah, it does struggle in weather. Cockpit textures do look really good. Yeah, the actual panels and things are fine. Not such a fan of this. This is a bit not great, but the actual buttons and panels look pretty nice. It's like you have hydraulic lag. Yeah, a little bit, but it does struggle in light turbulence. Right, anyway. 10,000 feet SO, there's no more restrictions to comply with, just the 190 knots in the week.
Minimums. Approaching minimums.
Let's do the post-cruise checks though. Fuel lights, we've checked already. We need to do a fuel check again, sorry.
Spencer, going into Teterboro. DC set test to 2435, but he's not responding.
Pressurization.
Okay, yeah, so I don't have your track.
Consequence of that.
Let me see what's going on.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Pressurization, cabin altitude is 1,000 feet set. Let's go back to fuel checks complete. Top pass goes 27 bumps, thanks buddy. Looks like I jinxed it, sorry Cap. That would be fine Tom, we're going to make it. Thanks a lot buddy for your continued support. I haven't heard from you in a while. I hope you're all well, thank you. Texture of that glare shield is from a photo of an actual plane. They're up to 30 years old. It is pretty old. It does look, I guess it is based off that design. It's just, it's not bad.
Contact New York Center 132.175. Should be receiving you now.
Call New York 32-175.
It's just bare minimums for Jim, that's fine, as long as I've got 280.
So. 2395,
yeah, there's...
Tower 118.5.
There is Pat's...
118.5, US 5395, help.
And who else did I miss?
So Pat's 1 hour 8 minutes, 1 hour 10, that makes sense because we messed around with ATC earlier in first spacing. We should have 8.6 tonnes on board. We have 9.9, so you can see we saved quite a lot of fuel. 1,300 kilos saved. We should have burned 10 tonnes pretty much. We've used... where's fuel used? Oh, there it is, 2750. 2750 times 2 is going to be 55, plus another 2750, it's going to be about 8250. So we've saved, yeah, we've saved about 1,500 kilos, so it's a little bit conservative.
12,000,
Ooh. Well done, mods.
64, Philadelphia approach, Philadelphia altimeter 29901, expect the ILS 27 right approach.
Excellent.
27 right, 2991, UPS 64.
So again, we're at 10,000 here. It wants us to be at R roll at 8,600. Not sure why. We've got the 6,000, but remember I put that in manually. We're still at 90, we're still 10 minutes away to lose 4,000 feet. So we should, I guess, have a new top of descent point. But so far, so good. Thanks, guys, for reporting those bot things. So far, so good. Guys, if you just joined us, the chat and stream, welcome. We are in descent into Philadelphia. So far, so good. The aircraft's been much better than previous releases. Inbound to R-roll, we'll be making the restrictions to 10,000 SO, and eventually we're going to get vectors onto ILS 27 left.
UPS 218 heavy, descend and maintain 6,000.
So maintain 6,000 UPS 218. So if I use profile now, it's going to do a sort of dirty dive. So I'm just going to select it here. It's going to dive for this profile. Look at it go down. That way you feel sick. 1,000 feet per minute. But now it's showing me below profile. So now it's going to climb back up. So it started descending. Interesting to see what it's going to do here.
Back in 1367,
Okay.
flight heading 180.
So it wants me to be R roll at 9,600 and then Beals at... Okay, here's that profile coming here. First time I've seen it. So we'll leave it profile, let it do its thing. So it's going to get us to 6,000 feet ready for vectors. Fly directors are definitely... Yeah, the fly directors are all over the place. But it's actually flying it reasonably accurately. Look, the actual tracking is much better than in previous versions. So, yeah, they're getting there. They've nailed this pretty well. Again, I must confess, some of this is lack of knowledge of this aircraft. This is all new to me. There's so much similar with the Boeing, so much similar to the Airbus. I can see bits of it here, but I can operate it. I can operate it at least. Performance we didn't really discuss.
Philadelphia approach, Philly altimeter 2991.
Runway here, 27 left, 3,700 meters is huge. We'll do our best to make Yankees. We're going to go order brake to medium, and we're going to select the flat 50 option, so takeoff approach. Flat 50, you get all the speeds here, which is quite cool. 206 is clean, 167, these are all the minimum speeds for all the flap settings, really cool, it's nice to reference. No idea what timer MMSS is though.
The ILS 27 rate approach.
Vertical speed. Adjust.
Interesting.
American 1367, turn right heading 240, join the runway 27 right localizer.
Ellis, you were assigned 6,000, so you would not use profile but vertical speed.
American 1367, turn right heading 240.
Yeah, but as I was saying earlier, on an aircraft like this, Ellis, you know, you use the MCP as a toolbox to get the job done, okay? I've selected in the flight plan page 6,000 for a bit of a nice CDA at Boyek. So profile's given me a nice gentle descent rate to make that restriction at 6,000 feet. Remember, there's no right or wrong mode to use. As a pilot, use whatever mode you need to get the job done. And this one's doing a decent enough job now. The profile mode is working down to 6,000. It's certainly working better than it was. So this should put me at 7,900 at Beals, which it looks like it's about to do, and then 6,000 at Boyek for a nice continuous descent. Steering the speeds, yeah, there. This will be good. It's just this. I'm not sure if it's still turbulent or this is just again the oscillations from the autopilot. Let me just disconnect it again as an experiment.
Autopilot.
So there's a little bit of light turbulence still. Pilot 1 engaged. For a timed approach maybe, possibly dealing. Ellis, I understand, but what ATC assigns the altitude they expect a normal descent and not FMS profile. Well, I'm not a controller, Ellis, but air traffic control I'm sure don't mind whatever mode you use in the aircraft. So long as you make the restrictions, that's all that matters. I've never in the last 11 years had ATC ask me, are you using VNAV, vertical speed or level change? They just expect you to make restrictions. They ask me to descend to 6,000 feet. That's it. That's it. Excellent.
1367, speed 180 until Jaldo.
180.
You are. If you flew the aircraft server, I will fully respect you. Certainly directing me like a captain I'd imagine I flew with 10 years ago. Very bossy. But maybe it's a generation thing.
1367, contact Philly Tower.
How am I doing though, Ellis? Out of 10? How am I doing out of 10?
Southwest 254, descend and maintain 7,000.
8 on. 100 tons of freight delivered successfully the 7th rank. Great flight to Philly. Fantastic. Perfect. Well, I have to say, profile mode, it's not done it. 218, go ahead.
GPS 218 heavy, descend and maintain 3,000.
So maintain 3,000, GPS 218. I have to say, the profile mode's done a good job making the restriction at 6,000, just not as a sort of efficient descent, not like an idle path descent you get in the 7.3, it's just done a gentle one with thrust on. But I'm now going to select vertical speed, so I'm sort of getting to the point where I'm going to be on vectors here, and we're in a perfect height. A nice rule of thumb, guys, when you're downwind, there's the airport, it's about 6,000 feet when you're downwind there. We just got to make sure after after peace out we just go heading select there.
Okay, 4934, so right then I'm putting you through the localizer. Turn left heading 240 to join the localizer. 240, join the localizer, 4934.
Ooh, it's very steep, it's about 30 degrees. Ooh, there's a very steep turn there. That would probably get a bank angle warning. Saying it's 30 if it was like 45. So we're in vertical speed now, downwind.
456 heavy, descend and maintain 6,000. Reduce speed to 210 at 6,000.
Airplanes. We're just going to get ready to go heading select there.
At 6,000, 210, UPS 456.
Stefan rotates profile tends to be getting sanity below 10,000.
Turn left heading 330, reduce speed to 210.
So we're in a good position here, looking very nice.
4934, 3 miles from Martin, maintain 3000 until established and localized, clear to the ILS 27 right approach.
Until established, clear to ILS 27 right American 49
So approaching
UPS 29, UPS 295 heavy,
nice piece out. So we're now going to go heading select because the aircraft will start turning, which I don't want it to do. I'm going to maintain heading. So heading select, 5.
November 826 Delta Echo for Newcastle with you, steady at 3,000 feet.
Back as well. So that clean speed, what was the clean speed?
826 Delta Echo, the Wilmington Airport is
206 knots, so we'll do 220.
Expect runway 19er.
Pull it.
Roger, expecting runway 19er.
And now we're maintaining heading after peace out. If I didn't do that, it would start making a left turn to Festi, which we don't want.
Enter a left base, runway 19er.
And we'll just do 300 feet per minute, otherwise it's going to get really low. We're already 15 miles out. So very gentle CDA now. So one thing I've noticed, the
Southwest 254, turn left heading to...
the clean minimum speed is 206 knots. We're doing 220, but look at the altitude. Very high.
UPS 218 heavy, turn left heading 360.
Left heading 360, UPS 218. So here's base leg. Pull.
UPS 64 heavy, sending
Go. Turn.
Send me 3000, GPS 64 ready.
Stabilizer motion. Love it.
4934, contact Philly Tower 118.5.
Tower 118.5, American 49.
Update direct to Festi. We're not going to engage profile mode.
Delta 1220 heavy, descend and maintain 4000.
Going down to 4000, Delta.
And it's so far going so well. I'm really pleased with this. And bear in mind, this aircraft, this is the 3rd flight I've ever done in it. Well, no, 4th if I include the test, the tutorial flight. So yeah, 220 knots on base, looking good. Ellis, slats extend. I just want to be as efficient as possible, sir. I'm looking here. The clean speed is 206 knots.
UPS 218 heavy, turn left heading 300, join the runway 27 right localizer.
Left heading 300 degrees on the heading, intercept the localizer 27 left, UPS 218. So I'm not going to slats just
UPS 218 landing,
yet.
Turn left heading 300, join the runway 27 left localizer.
I think you're getting blocked there, but I've heard you 300 on that heading, clear to intercept localizer 27 left, UPS 218. Someone's blocking the frequency. So yeah, I won't go slats just yet. I'm 18 miles out. I don't even have glide slope. As soon as I get glide slope alive, I'll select the slats.
Traffic.
The attitude seems fair.
218 heavy, 6 miles from Festi, maintain 3000 to establish and localize the clear for the ILS 27 left approach.
Yeah, I think I'm getting blocked there. 3,000 feet on the heading cleared, localizer 27 left, UPS 218. Alright, let's go for approach land, localizer live, localizer capture. Just wait. As soon as I get glide slope capture, I'll select the slats and we'll start reducing speed. UPS 218, localizer established, ILS 27 left.
0.
Blocked. Stabilizer motion. Right, let's just tidy up the FMS here, so direct to Festi again.
UPS 9521, descend maintain 8000.
Just makes it look a little bit tidier. There we are. There's glide slope alive, so we'll select slats.
Delta Echo, wind 170
and the minimum speed for slats is 167, so let's just bring it back to 180.
For November 826 Delta Echo, thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Ellis. That's what I like to hear. Is that for me again?
Southwest 254,
perfect. So, slats are extended, speed slowly coming back. We'll now select flap 15 using dialer flap. Land is armed. And if I'm right in thinking, if I select FMS speed, it'll fly the commanded speeds now. So FMS speed 166 knots. It's back into an Airbus now. So you can close the window and it'll slow down automatically. It's really cool. We did a nice CDA there. It was really good. I like it, guys. They're getting there. They're getting there. UPS 218, established ILS 27 left.
Thank you, UPS 218 Heavy, contact Philly Tower 118.5.
Tower 118.5, thanks UTC, UPS 218, bye.
1-800
flap.
Yankee Victor 5592. Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Land armed. Getting ready for glide slope capture. Just want to make sure it definitely captures. One of my sectors it didn't.
Stabilizer motion.
Thanks, Betty. Land armed. Oh, maybe it's already in. Is it already in? GS White. I think it might already be captured. Yeah, I think we're captured already. I just used the green FMAs, guys, that's all. Tower, hello, UPS 218 established, ILS 2 left at 9 miles.
Yes, 218 Heavy, Philly Tower 1200 at 9, runway 27 left, clear to land.
27 left, clear to land at UPS 218.
Traffic.
I think it's very sensitive TK. Oh my god, really? Where's he going?
Traffic.
That's sketchy.
4934, contact
Right, 8
9.
miles. Yeah, look at this attitude though, 9 degrees. That's really high. We're established on the ILS at this attitude. What is this guy doing? Unbelievable. Right, let's start configuring. So I'm going to drop the gear. That attitude is very, very high. It's like Concorde.
2500.
Excellent. So I'm just going to wait for the green lights before selecting flap 28, otherwise it starts moaning. That then should reduce the speed.
Traffic.
There we are. So we got 3 green lights, flaps to 28, 152, and we're going to select flap 50 now. It's probably because it's actually bucked our target speed a lot lower. That's probably why the attitude's so high, because haven't got enough flaps. Right, 152. So it actually bugged my final approach speed before I had flaps. That's pretty sketchy, actually. So I presumed it would be very Airbusy, and as you extended the flaps, it would reduce the speed each time. Now that's more better. My English. That's far better. The attitude's more sensible. 5 degrees. Still much higher than the 7.3. Right, let's do the landing checks. Arm the speed brakes. My goodness me, this is a tough old aircraft, but very rewarding. Where's the rest of this checklist here? Landing flap is selected. Flap to 50. 5 miles. Where's the checklist? I've armed it. Missed approach attitude, just need to set 3000. That's all fine. So, no warning lights, speed brake, fuel, if I have to go around, is loads, 9 tenths. Right, I think we're good. No green box, go around. What does that mean? What am I missing? What am I missing? Should see 4 degrees pitch with full flaps on speed. Oh, that's looking good there. Right, all got auto land armed. Well, we're going to go for a landing. Look, it's flown the ILS beautifully, but we don't want to do that. We're going to fly it ourselves. So we'll disconnect the auto throttle. Match the thrust levers. Ooh, there we are. Disconnect the autopilot. There we go. And this is where you get the very sensitive flight directors now. Check. So I'm sort of looking through the flight directors. I think that's the pack's just gone off. Yeah, I'm not sure what the flight directors are commanding now, so I'm ignoring the flight directors. Speed's getting a bit high here. Clear to land. Check this complete. Yeah, flight directors are wanting me to dive into the ground, but we are on Pappies, we're on glide. Ignore those flight directors. Oh, there they come. Now they're telling me to climb. Right, let's not look at those. Right, low on speed here, a bit messy.
500.
Checked. So I'm going to try and make this exit for the UPS stands on the left.
400.
Is there a way of turning the flight directors off? Yeah, very off-putting, only looking outside. 2 reds, 2 whites though, looking good. Speed's alright. Keep descending, little high.
Approaching minimum.
Check.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100.
Checked.
50. 40.
Check. Close.
10.
Hold the attitude. Oh, we are floating. Come on. Oh, a butter. It had to be. Right, speed brakes up. Reverse is green. We're missing the exit for UPS though. That's where I wanted to vacate. I've got to brake manually here, 100 knots.
UPS 64 Heavy, Philly Tower following a...
I've only got reverse on one engine for some reason. Oh, why has it done that? Right, there we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I want to break off. Welcome to Philly. Cancel reverse, we're going to stop here on the runway and we have to do a 180 to get back onto the airport. Well, my goodness, we're down. Yeah, I was a little bit hot. I floated loads. Come back, exit. Amazing. I have to say, the aircraft's grown on me and it behaved far better than on my test sectors. I've not done anything different. Maybe it's familiarity, but it's so much I still don't know.
UPS 218 Heavy, welcome to Philly. Contact ground point 9er.
Ground point 9 UPS 218. Bye. Excellent. So we're going to do a full right here. You can hear the packs have come back on after we vacated. Ground point 9er. Many master cautions. Ground, hello UPS 218. We're getting 27 left, request taxi to UPS apron please.
UPS 218 Heavy, hold up at ground, welcome. Taxi to ramp via Sierra Uniform. Hold short runway 27 left.
Sierra Uniform will hold short at 27 left, UPS 218. Perfect, so all looking good. Amazing. Now, I have to admit, they've done a good job with the updates. We all know that on release that this aircraft was a bit of a shambles, but LNAV seems to be working fine. VNAV, you can see what it's trying to do. Remember, I don't know anything about this aeroplane. I fly the 737-800. My brain is hardwired into flying a 737-800, so a lot of the things you see me do is to what I know with flying to that. It's getting there. Final approach there, the speeds, I wasn't too sure how to control. I think I was too low a speed for the flap setting, which is why my attitude was so high. I think on my test sector, though, I had FMC speed selected for each flap setting. It kind of commanded a higher speed, so maybe I should have left that open. But overall, once they've sort of fixed the sort of jerkiness of the flight director and autopilot, we've got a great aircraft on our hands here. It really is looking like it. It's just a shame that it was released in the state it was, but they're getting there. And I'm very glad I delayed this stream until I got to a more stable version, that's for sure. Right, flaps are selected up. We'll do a little bit of taxiing music. We are on Sierra. Uniforms there for the next right. I am going to extend the flaps again for the replay, because unfortunately, whatever flap setting you have at the point that you start the replay is what the flaps are for the replay there. See if they have you contact tower to cross 27 left again. Yeah, probably.
Roger, UPS 295 Heavy, taxi to ramp via
track the lights, high intensity lights can come off. We'll get the APU up and running. Just up here. 28 knots, maximum speed for taxi for my operators, 30 on the ground. Buttered, nice stream, bit of a float though. Uniform. Oh, look at them all on final approach here. Look at that. Ah, we've got helicopters. I think that might be the scenery there. Look at all these aircraft around here. One on final here. They're all on 27 right. Superb. UPS 218, holding short of uniform, 27 left.
UPS 218 Heavy, Roger, standby.
He's probably asking his mate if he can let me cross. I don't know if a ground controller's allows you to cross the runway. You passed Yankee. Yes, you're right, Abbas, but our clearance.
218 Heavy, cross 27 left at uniform.
Cross 27 left at uniform, UPS 218. So we'll pop the strobes back on. Yes, the plan was to vacate at Yankee, but because I floated so much. Actually, Yankee's quite ambitious. It's about half the length of that runway, so I think always would have struggled to have made it. And this is where the UPS ramp is in Philadelphia. So clear left. They are landing on 27 right. Noel's on final for 27 left. Really good. That's awesome, isn't it? There's someone else in his MD11 as well, I believe. Look at that. There you go. Oh, I need to look where I'm going. How's the FPS in this plane? Fine. My FPS is capped at 60. I'm getting 50, but that the Philly scenery, the default. Although this is the ex-captain Philly series, actually quite FPS intensive. Do not use the grass version, by the way. It kills your PC. I was getting 1 FPS when I used it. UPS 218, runway vacated.
UPS 218 heavy, roger, thank you.
Cheers. Perfect. So the scenery's bit here is a bit basic. There's no real parking stands. So what we're going to do is just plonk it there. Some weird shadow issue in the scenery as well.
American 357, second.
Sorry, Ellis, a bit more oversteer. Yes, I was. I'm sorry, Ellis. You seem like very strict training captains. I was very busy looking on final approach and the pretty airplanes landing. You're quite right though, the gear is very far behind the nose wheel. There you go, look, there we are. How's that? A nice change for the Boeing and Airbus, yes, and I will await their next update to take this aircraft in Alpaca Airways colours for a spin. It'll be great fun, but great fun to have flown from Louisville to Kentucky. First time in Pennsylvania, I believe, for us. Right, APU is available, so I think I could just shut the engines down, I believe, because if I select APU power, it doesn't seem to do anything. So very Airbusy. I'm just going to park it on this line here. I'll make a left turn to park it for the yeah, a bit weird with the reverses. I don't know why I only selected right reverses. If I select... Yeah, I don't know why I did that, but a bit strange. Crowley, did you see his earlier feedback after landing? I'll look at the comments in here. Landing was not great. No, very floaty. Giuseppe, what's better in terms of realism? Zebo level up. Level up needs an. I thought they had a pending update for the flight model, but I don't think they've updated anything yet. It needs an update to the flight model. Very draggy, excessive drag and going on taxi. But the look of the aircraft, the detection sounds great. I'm just going to sort of park it here, guys. There's no parking stands. Probably shut an engine down on the taxi to save fuel. Let's shut down engine number 2. Alice, couple more flights and you can take it already, fine, thank you. Parking brake set. Right, APU. Oh, it's on already. Oh, cool. Maybe I've got to set the parking brake. I don't know. Anyway, we've got the APU power on. Shut engine down. Shut down engine number 1 and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome first ever time in a Flight Date Sim live stream to Kentucky. No, not where are we? No, that was Louisville. To Pennsylvania. There we are.
Cross turn 127 left to the rim. Thank you, UPS 64.
Yeah, much better than the test sectors. I can see things working, I can see things not working, but they'll get there. Look at the position of the stabiliser there, I think it's very high. Superb. What do you think then, guys? A bit more time before you get it? It's getting there. So much better for the launch version, that's for sure. I really enjoyed the sector anyway. That was superb. Right, yeah, alright, Philadelphia maybe. Yes. I forgot Kentucky is where we were. Right, I'm actually going to extend the flaps now because of the replay we're going to do. So I'm going to select flap 50 so you can see the slats extending. Let's look at some of these comments on the approach decks. It got quite busy. That robotic voice, I know, the classic voice that you get from the McDonnell Douglas aircraft. So cool. John Swift have come a long way since the Western Lysander and lighting the bonfires to the landing field. It's crazy, isn't it, John? You're right. Was a butter, bit of a float there. I'm looking for the feedback though. Ellis, other than chasing the flight director, you did an excellent job. Yes, it will float. You did better than many of my first officers. Oh, that's all I want to hear. Yes, the flight director, I was ignoring completely, I promise you, Captain, I was completely ignoring the flight directors on that approach. I was only looking outside, as you're meant to. They were all over the place at the moment. They do need to fine-tune that. Thanks. Maze was an absolute banger of a stream. Love it. Glad they're getting the MD11 worked out, even if my system won't be able to run it. Well, hopefully improve on your performance. I don't think it's a super FPS heavy aircraft, if I'm honest. Certainly the MD80 was very, very friendly on frames. So I think it's pretty good overall. Micro push button, excellent. LS 737-800 is newer. The jerky autopilot reaction to turbulence is not right, but otherwise very good fidelity to the right plane. Well, you've heard it from the man himself. Love it. Ellis, you're more than welcome to always come in any of my streams. I love the input. Taylor, after you've parked, can we take a look around the airport? I've got a terrible shadow effect in my sim that I can't work out. Turn off Taylor 31425. The shadow build, I had the same thing. It's to do with the scenery. I've still got a little bit of it. You see that here? It's just the developer, the freeware developer, ex-captain. If you turn off building shadows, it improves it. You can't get rid of it, but building shadows on, you get that awful shadowy effect. It's just the scenery, some texture issues or something. But yeah, this is the ex-captain scenery, completely free to download, very well reviewed. You get all the city buildings as well. But yeah, first time in Philly. Let's have a look at the aircraft again. Oh, what else did I want to say? Also, some of these comments. Tom, you could relax in the pool with all that float. Unbelievable. Thanks again, Lauren, for your inputs as well. It's always nice to hear from your knowledge with regards to VATSIM ATC. That's it, said Taylor. Perfect. That's the one. Yeah, that's probably, if you get that looked into, you should get rid of those issues. Keeps you on your toes, it sure does there. Right, well, yeah, aircraft-wise, what do I think then? Opinion. I'm sure a lot of people are interested in what I think to say. Actually, when I first got this aircraft and experienced what was going on, you know, I was very disappointed, I think, as most of you were, and saw with other people that have streamed it all over the place. They then released patch 1.01. I had the same issues, but this one, I didn't catch that. Could you try again? Shut up, Siri. Did you hear that? They seem to have markedly improved it with V1.02. The LNAV seems to be much, much better. In fact, I'd say there was no issues with the lateral navigation today. What they need to work on is the way the autopilot sort of operates. Seems to be very jerky. In conditions, certain conditions seems to fight itself, and the flight directors. But the whole systems, everything seems to be really, really spot on. Really like it. So once they've just fine-tuned with a few more patches, I'd say it is, if you want an MD11 in X11, this is a good one to get. And I wasn't expecting to say that at the end of the stream. Certainly went better than the test sectors. And again, I don't know if it's a thing with profile mode. My knowledge of it, it did seem to be doing some funky things, especially the FMS restrictions as well. But no doubt in time it'll be much better, and an aircraft will definitely fly again. There we go. Right then, so I've got the flaps extended for the replay. We'll turn down the old music here. Amazing ATC for pretty much the entire sector, so thanks for everyone that provided ATC who happens to be watching the stream as well. That was superb. There would be a shutdown checklist. I'll just leave it running on the APU, guys. Yeah, it was great. Loved all the systems here. We had plenty of gas there. So hopefully someone will update the sim brief profile for the MD11. I think someone said minus 20% fuel bias for now to have it work. But yeah, super duper duper. Right then, let's cue the funky replay music. There we are. Oh yeah, smooth transition today. Let's put ourselves on approach there. Have a look at that floater. Look at the photo scenery on Ortho. Someone obviously took it with an aircraft on short final. Let's turn that down. Turn off old Fly Live. Let's see the runway.
Terrain.
It's a bit... There we are. Might have to get that sound pack then. There we are, there was the check. Held the attitude. Oh, look how close we were to the runway for so long. A little bit off centre line. Nice and smooth though. It's got such a small rudder because, you know, I guess if we didn't have the central engine, we would need a bigger rudder for certification requirements to maintain directional control, but it's very small. Let's have a look from this angle. There's a little bit of a crosswind, to be fair. Oh, it was about an inch from touching down, but I just held the attitude. And again, this is more X-plane. It would have settled down by then. For sure. Centre gear doesn't touch down. No, it does seem to be above the ground, doesn't it? Maybe it's because we're not super heavy. Yeah, it's still floating, look. There we are, look, it just made contact then. It's because it was such a soft landing, that's why. To have a tower view? Yes, we do. Looks great, such an awesome looking aircraft. Well, we're going from A to B. That's the most important thing. Poof. There we go. Superb. Right then, guys, which one are we going for? Ooh, yeah, I think that wing view. Yeah, I think that one's slightly better. Guys, well, that's it for today. Our inaugural MD11 sector. It's only the third ever time we've flown a tri-jet. The 727, the TU, the Tupolev 154 from Felix, and I think this is the third one. So yeah, really cool. As we've just already mentioned 5 minutes ago, very much getting this all improved here. Why are the spoilers up there? They certainly weren't up for the approach, I hope. I think it's just the replay. Yeah, the aircraft's improved significantly. Very happy with version 1.02. I think in a few more patches time, when they've tidied up a few things, it'll be even better. So yeah, give them a bit more time and you'll have an excellent rotate. Well, excellent McDonnell Douglas MD11. Really enjoyed today's sector. To everyone that donated, thank you very much for your generosity. Really appreciate it. For everyone's for all the members, thank you very much for your continued support as well. That's very much appreciated. And for all the regular viewers and subscribers, thank you very much for popping in for today's live stream. Don't forget to thumbs up the video on your way out. If you want to stay up to date with the latest content, don't forget to subscribe as well. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope to go live one more day before I go back to work on Sunday or Monday, that is. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.